So Par, what are you afraid of?
Heights, roller coasters.
Oh, dude, me too. I hate roller coasters, bro. Like, I know it's a silly fear, but like, if that roller coaster crashes or if something dislodges, you're done, bro. Like, I know
Bro,
it's
it's not a
rare.
silly fear.
It's
not
rare, but it's like if it happens, dude, it happens.
Nah, it's not a silly fear.
You don't
It's
think so?
no, dude. It's literally like the reject automobile, no offense, to automobile engineers going over. They're not paid well enough. They don't have enough oversight. They give the protocols like, oh, like think about like how much people neglect maintaining their car, and it's like, oh, yearly checkup. But then think about like, hey, here's how to maintain this roller coaster. And then the people are like, you know what? We can't afford that this year. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like those roller coasters, bro, they sit out in the weather like 24/7, man. Like, who knows what
No
happens?
one's
Or like, what
maintaining
if
it.
there's a new prank that's going around where they're like, hey, I got a good prank, boys. Today we're gonna sabotage roller coasters. People are getting crazy. You never know. You know, one
Yeah.
bad screw can really mess you up. And I think my thing with roller coasters is that you have no real control. Like if
Yeah.
for a car, for example, I could at least, try to like steer the car or something. On a plane, you could at least like try to, duck and cover. You got like an oxygen mask or whatever, emergency exit. But like in a roller coaster, you can't do anything, bro. You're just a sitting duck. I'm gonna say right here, if I had to guess who is afraid of, I'd probably put Yamato at the top of that list because Yamato comes in on the cover page and destroys him. I'm assuming it's a
Yeah.
one shot. Like I don't think who's going to get up next chapter. One more round, Yamato. Like no, I think who's who is cooked. It almost looks like just because of the shading, it almost looks like Yamato breaks his horn or like his helmet.
A little
But
bit, yeah.
yeah, like dude, it's so bad actually that who's who didn't even get to draw his blade. Like Yasuo's blade is still in its sheath as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, this guy's done. I mean, is this what you expected? Who's who to go out like this?
Yeah, it was either this or who's who puts up a fight. There was like no in between, but like the question mark was always just like, yo, Yamato, like when? Hello, Yamato,
Yamato,
You know what
please. They're dying.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I mean, Yamato doing something. This is what it looked like. We kind of just wanted it like maybe before the sixth sword was impaled into the board that Ulti was in, or like before he had a sword too. Which is funny. Didn't he have like a sword? Maybe I'm forgetting. Didn't he have it like pointed at page one, like on the ground?
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
who's
and then
who
so,
was
like,
very close to executing these guys like at least 5 different times.
yeah, so like he got blitzed so fast that his sword resheathed itself. It's the famous uh the famous yeah, wait, no. Well, hold on. Yasuo's blade was unsheathed. That was the sword he had to page one's neck.
Yeah. And then
So
it's resheathed.
yeah, so Yamato hit him so hard he put the sword back. The sword said, "I don't want any of this." That's what
Pretty
it is.
much. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's kind of funny like seeing this all go down. It's like his
Yeah.
blades resheathed. Like he's going down in one hit. I mean, like I said, this is what we expected from who's who. Like we didn't expect anything, to be honest. I mean, like
Yeah,
if it was somebody else coming in here, yeah. But like Yamato, nah, dude. He's done. He's done.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is what we that thought like when the sword was first stolen. It was just like whoever did this is dead. Like there's not really anybody who makes sense to like be able to
Beat Yamato.
yeah, and it never made sense, and I'm glad it doesn't make sense because it didn't make sense because we're seeing like the only person that like sort of could have maybe put up a sort of fight, and they didn't put up a fight. So like, and they're like the only option left on Wano. Like besides Kaido and Big Mom themselves, like this is the only person, and they didn't put up a fight. So we were right at like the community was right, and as far as that perspective, like whoever stole these swords is like a madman.
Fodder.
Yeah, and so it's like it's just it makes sense. It's crazy that this maybe Yasuo's blade is a
A cursed
cursed
blade.
blade. Yeah, and its curse is like when you're about to die, it abandons you. Like the will abandons you and sheaths itself. Yeah, that's a fun one. Yeah,
That
so
could be
good
it.
job.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you, Yasuo's blade, for saving Yamato from death. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe that's it.
yeah.
Maybe Who's Who was about to kill Yamato. We didn't see it, of course. All speculation. We didn't see it. Who's Who was about to land the finishing blow, but it just couldn't pull the trigger. It resheathed itself, and maybe Yamato didn't even land the Thunder Bagua. Maybe the sword killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
these
were to
cursed
look
blades are
at the
crazy.
this it
Some
kind if
crazy
you were to
headcanon.
have a if you were to have like a completely like schizo take on it, it looks like the sword and Yamato duoed. Like they're like the picture looks like they teamed up together, and the sword is the one that hit Who's Who like up the jaw and flew upwards. Like it could be that the sword like jumped out of his hand, hit him in the face, made him bleed. It's up in the sky with Yamato. Yamato might turn around and like, shit, who did that?
Yamato's like, wait a minute, I missed my Thunder Bagua, but
Yeah, no,
we should see Yasuo's ghost come in.
Yasui is at the other end of the sword, like riding it or something, like the tip of the blade. But like, and Yamato, like, it's one of those things where Yamato has the sense like it didn't feel like my attack made contact. What happened? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those
Yeah.
like it felt like I missed. But I guess the attack went through, but it was the Yasuo's blade the
Do you
entire
think
time.
we're gonna get a Yasui cover page throughout Yamato's journey, where it's kind of like Neji from Naruto, where like spoiler alert, he's been dead for like 15 years, but where like Neji comes back in the final, like the finale, and he's just doing this from the
Oh,
sky.
that's that would be like here, like Yasuo is just like boom. It might be like
Yeah.
Oda does personify the sword, and like technically the sword was sleeping with Yamato, so like maybe it's a good thank you. You know what I mean? Like
Ooh, thanks for sleeping with me or something.
yeah, and technically when we really think about it, this sword is Yamato's first companion on the pilgrimage.
Yeah. I mean, the sword is the reason why we're on the pilgrimage, even.
Yeah, sort of. Like yeah, like it's
Sort
like
of.
this is the mission that like Kinemon decided to tack on to Yamato instead of just taking it to him with it for like him. Like he could have just went. Like, can we? Why didn't Kinemon just take the goddamn sword to Yasuo himself? Like what was the meaning of giving it to Yamato? Yamato didn't even know Yasuo like that. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I don't even. I mean, Yamato does, I guess, know. No, does she know Yasuo like that?
No.
Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to be generous here with the associations, but no, like Yamato doesn't even know this man. Kirima just decided like, hey, I'm just gonna give this random girl the sword that Yasuo had to bring to his cemetery, like his cemetery house or whatever it's called, and yeah, that makes sense because that pilgrimage is gonna be blessed if a random person takes it. Like yeah but yeah, the sword is random. It's a weird twist of fate, you could say.
Oh yeah. I mean, the
Yeah,
sword is kind of silly. Like, I mean, now I guess the big question. I guess the big question now coming off of this cover page is what's gonna happen next? Like, are we gonna lock up Who's Who? Are we gonna lock up Page One Ulti, or is Yamato gonna recruit them? Because the sentiment that I've seen online is that a lot of people just want Ulti and Page One to travel with Yamato, which I agree with.
yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun. Kind of like Odin and his scabbards, how they're all criminals, and then Odin just recruits them. Do you see Yamato doing the same for them? Like, how do you see this playing out after this
For the
chapter?
other people, like who's henchmen, like those people.
No, Ulti and Page One.
Yeah, ulti page 1, yeah, it's going with Yamato. But
You think
like
so?
who's who could too as well. Like it's weird, but like didn't Odin also beat like the brakes off of like half of his
Oh
scabbards when
yeah,
they joined?
yeah. A majority of them. I mean, even Raizo fought him initially. I'm trying to think like who else fought them. Ashura Doji led like a criminal gang, and then
Right?
he beat him, and then Ashura Doji said, "Hey, let's follow you." So maybe, yeah, I guess Yamato could get all of Who's crew, gets everybody in this
Yeah.
area, reforms
I
them.
don't like at the moment I not like I don't know if Ashura like I don't know, it took like Kiku hostage or something and started like it started like torturing them at what like because that's like the difference here is that like Who's Who was actively currently torturing two of the other proposed members of this group, and I don't
Yeah,
know if the other scabbards particularly did. I don't think that was a thing, but you know, Yamato forgave kids for throwing rocks at her, so like, you know,
anything's possible.
better than me. Yeah, better than me. You know, didn't even discipline those kids. The kid, I think the kids were still throwing the rocks while being captured too. So like, you know, who's to know that about Who's Who, and maybe he gets reformed within a cover story too. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that can happen within a cover story, and a lot could happen within two cover stories. So maybe Who's Who becomes reformed and he apologizes. Um, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still waiting for Yamato to hit the Nika pose real quick, and then Who's Who to see the light. You know?
I feel like maybe that's the final cover page. Like we see Who's Who, Yamato, Ulti page 1. They're all partying, celebrating after bringing the sword back, and they're all hitting the Nika pose. Or maybe they go back to the capital and they're doing it all together. Like Momonosuke
Yeah.
hits it, Kinemon hits it. Like I think by the end of the series, we'll have a Nika pose for every single character in the series. As silly as that sounds.
You know what people? I mean, people do say it. It's like, you know, Odin famously danced naked throughout the thing, so everyone's like been waiting for like Yamato's version of that, and maybe her version of that is the Nika dance.
Oh yeah, I think that's probably one of our best theories coming off of this Parcast. Just Yamato dancing naked on the streets.
Yeah,
That's always been something that we've been like looking forward to. Like when is it, dude? Like we want it.
Yeah, when? The question isn't who, it's when.
Yeah.
It's not who's who, it's when.
Win. Yamato, please parallel Odin's journey as I lick my lips. Please do it, Yamato. We need it for the plot.
And it would have been sick if Who's Who had like his own scabbards of the why, the what, the when's, like just of all of them. That'd been sick.
I think I mean, the thing is, like, I look at Who's Who kind of like Gecko Moria. You know, there's so much potential there, but he stopped at Who's Who. You know, where's the what, the why, the win. Like, I agree with you.
Yeah,
like,
wait,
we could have gone way more.
What did you want more from Moria? Oh, more from Moria. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, like Moria if he never like stopped training. Moria if he just never.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
You know, like he was over here fighting Kaido. Like, was it an equal fight? We don't know, but he was there. He had that dog in him, but he lost, and then he spiraled, bro. Like we don't need that. We need to make a comeback. And honestly, a random character to bring up, but like I still think Gecko Moria is gonna be that guy later. Like, you know, we haven't seen him in a while. Like we haven't seen his prison body. Oda is hiding that guy, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
Show us more Gecko Moria.
Moria could also be like a Dosundata, because we don't even know, like, why is he's like classified as a human, but he just has the horns and he's just like randomly weird looking.
We could just fill in that empty race slot for Dosundata.
I'd be okay, not okay, but like if someone were to just be like, yeah, Moria's Dosundata race, I'd be like, sure, cool. Like, that fits the bill, I guess.
Yeah, why not? I'll take it, dude. I mean, it's either... Okay, this is a great segue into the chapter. It's either Gecko Moria, the Dosundata, or Keba, the Dosundata.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because Keba is... something. So, first page of the chapter, we got kids running away from a giant snake. I gotta know, like, when you heard Jormungandr, the world serpent, in the very first page, what did you think?
I was a little confused because I was like, because like I look, so the snake looks big, but also like when like it looks big there, and then when they said Jormungandr, I said not big enough. This is something wonky. Like because I'm like, is this just like the school pet? Like, are they just afraid because it's loose? Like it kind of it gave not whiplash, but like I was at first I was like, oh my god, what is this snake? And I looked at the the silhouette of it, and I'm like, wait, this kind of looks a little bit like the mural like kind of thing, just like flipped. And I was like, the neck is weird. And then they said Jormungandr, and I was like, wait, no, maybe that is the like a mural. Like maybe the mural was just like of like animals on Elbaf, and I was like, wait, but this thing is not big enough to be Jormungandr. So then I was like, all right, something's weird right now. And then like when it like closed in on it, I was like, is this Killingham? Like I was so confused because I was like, wait, like but they know him. And I'm like, okay, but it's not that big, but like a snake like monster thing. Maybe Killingham's just running a wreck. But then as soon as Killingham got hit, I was like, all right, this isn't Killingham. I just went through like I was so confused in the first chapter. I was like, this is not Jormungandr, but is this scary? Is this like a normal thing that they see? And yeah,
So you were just lost pretty much.
Yeah, I was a little lost. I was a little lost to say the least. I think I forget when I was just like, all right, this is not Killingham. This is not like this is like a scary thing, but it's not like it's kind of weird. Oh yeah, I guess like when I guess when like I don't remember, but like when Saul and them handled it, I was like, it's not that big of a deal, you know. I was like,
yeah,
this thing is, yeah. My like red alert flag completely went down once I saw like it got like one shot, and I was like, this can't be that bit like problematic. This can't be Jormungandr, you know.
Yeah. So after the kids are seen running away, we cut into the Walrus School staff room, and that's when we meet some new teachers. We got Principal Keba. We got Mr. Blade, or I guess the Viz or PCB translated as Breed. Braid?
Yeah.
Breed? Either way.
Braid.
Yeah, I saw Blade. I thought Blade was cooler. And then Ange, who gets reintroduced. Of course, we've already met Ange before. But not only is she the assistant librarian to Saul, but we now know that she is the language arts teacher as well. Yeah. So we got a little title there. And what do you think about Blade and Keba here? What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, Blade.
He looks like a Kaido Beast Pirate member, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, this guy looks interesting. Sharp, very sharp jawline. I'm like, damn, this guy could cut steel with that one.
Got the Wano feathers. He's got like the freaking ancient giant horns as well. That kind of look like the Oni horns.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. And then Keba, like, I mean, I was just like, is this devil fruit? Like, this is weird. But then I was also like, wait, like, and we talked about this too. We were like, why is it the Walrus School? Apparently, like, the principal is but then I was like, wait, didn't King Harold make this school because Saul floated onto the island, and they're like, you know what would be a great idea? A school. So I was like, wait, so like they like Saul was like the main like pusher inspiration, and then this random Walrus guy becomes the principal, and it's imaged out of him. Like, what happened? How did Saul get like scuffed like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, like, we need more from Keba, right?
Yeah,
maybe Keba was the one who vouched for Saul. Maybe like King Harold was like, Saul, that's a stupid idea, school. And then Keba walked in, and Keba has the clout because he was a former giant warrior pirate, and he's like, hey, King Harold, I'll actually help him. I learned a lot while I was on the seas. And then that's when they're like, okay, all right, Keba, you get the school, and you can bring Saul along, I guess.
Because you also gotta like recognize that, like, if we were going with the thematic of like, animal stuff. Where we missed out on Jaguar School of like whatever instead of Walrus. And like we talked about it, like Walrus is kind of like whatever, you know what I mean? Like
Maybe Saul
they're
does
kind
have
of
something. Maybe Saul has his own like Jaguar goon library. I don't know.
what is Saul is the teacher of
Saul is
again?
just the librarian.
Oh wait, no, but he's also a teacher too.
Is he?
Isn't he? Didn't they call him a teacher?
I mean, they call him
In the-
teacher, but I think he's just a librarian. Is he not?
Yeah, but you wouldn't go to I never went to the library and said these people were my teachers.
Oh,
These
he's
kids
a
are
history
stupid.
teacher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
that
you go.
makes sense.
History
Yeah.
teacher. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so maybe he has like the Jaguar
Jaguar history book? No, that sounds dumb.
Nah, it's dumb, yeah. Damn, what does he
Um,
have? They just snubbed him, bro.
no. We haven't seen all the school yet. Maybe he has like a What do history teachers have?
I don't know. Oh,
Jaguar
you know what?
memories? Jaguar
History
film
teachers
session?
are usually the oh no, but they already have the gym teacher. Damn it. Because I was gonna say the history teacher sometimes doubles up as as the football coach. He's the after school sports. Wait, your history
So-
teacher wasn't the football team coach? That's like the
No.
wait, hold on. That's like the normal thing. If they're either
No,
like
no.
the,
Don't get me wrong. I feel like in schools, like a lot of teachers double up, and there's one teacher that is the PE teacher, the sports teacher, whatever. But it's not always history teachers.
I feel like it was either history or math.
It's either this one or that one. Yeah, no, mine was leadership. The leadership teacher was also the football
leadership?
coach.
What was leadership class? What?
Yeah, we had a leadership class in my school.
What did hold on. Hold on. If you're in the comments, please did you have a leadership class? What
Yeah,
what is a
I was there.
leadership class? No,
It
not
just-
you, the people in the comments. What did they
Oh.
are you one of one? Is Oklahoma like what were
Hey,
what were you trying to
whoa.
lead?
I don't know. It's just like public speaking and stuff like that.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Wait, that's sick.
Yeah,
That's kinda- that-
just
that's
like
pretty
a
dope.
lot of random stuff like that. But it was okay.
Did
It was
you
kind of like
like
a
the
blow off
class?
class. Yeah, I liked it because it was
like
just
a
easy.
good- but that's because you're a leader. It's
Not
easy
really.
because yeah, that's like me saying like math class is easy. That's like you're a born leader, Sai. That's what it is.
Nah, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I
that's not
see
even
it.
fair.
I'm not exactly Mr. Keba here.
Yeah.
But-
Mr. Keba winning out on the school lotto with King Harold. So that would mean
Yeah.
that he's kind of close with Harold, right? Or
Yeah, I would
somewhat?
assume Keba's close with Harold, or at least like knew of him in passing, right? But also like,
Yeah.
so we kind of talked about it, but like devil fruit or just born that way. Which one are you leaning towards?
I don't even know. He's probably born that way.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean he didn't do anything walrus like. I don't even know what like benefit the walrus like you just like I guess like in a sumo fight, like if he was battling the Yokozuna on Wano, like turning into the walrus would be kind of cracked, but like not really seeing how you could like rush into a battle, activate walrus powers. Like I don't know how
Maybe
that
it's just like a
necessarily-
flat stat boost, like most Zoans, right? Or maybe he has like fat
Yeah, I mean,
palms.
if he's
That
in
could be it.
hybrid, sure. But like what I mean is like as far as like meaning like if I were expecting him to activate some part of his power, I don't know what it would look like, but besides what you just said, like like he just stays in hybrid and it's just a continuously passive thing where the full zone form is just like always a detriment to his ability in like all regards too, not even just like there's not really many situations where you'd need the full zone out of that one. I feel like
Yeah, because
so.
walruses are known for what, like swimming around and stuff. So you can't exactly swim if you have a devil fruit. So
Yeah, and then like they are like really strong and whatever, but like no one's ever said like when on land bet on a walrus. Like that's not that's you know what I mean? Like land, sea, air, bet on Kaido. It's not, you don't bet on a walrus like on land. Like I think land is like probably the best time to not bet on the walrus because like I think I have the best chance on land. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so like I if this is a devil fruit, I feel like we'll never find out because he should absolutely never activate the full zone. Like there's no reason to.
Unless, like I said, unless it's just a huge stat boost, like maybe like, I mean, walruses don't have, they're just like big tubs of lard, and I hate walruses too. Like I'm not gonna lie,
Okay,
walruses are one of my least favorite animals because
Yeah.
of the movie Tusk. I don't know if you've ever watched that movie, but it's awful.
You mentioned it before last time you
It's
talked about your
I hate
disdain
it.
for
I
walruses.
hate that movie. It's, if you guys haven't watched it, it is a movie where this guy, he hears about a guy who's been saved by a walrus in his life, and he's like, oh, like he sounds interesting. Let me go interview him. He goes to his
Yeah.
mansion to interview this guy, and then the guy's like, yes, actually, I love walruses so much, I'm gonna drug you. He drugs the guy who goes there, and he turns him into a walrus.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like
It's so bad.
See, like if this is how we got introduced to devil fruit, like the cursed devil fruits, I get it. Oh man, like these are the options.
Yeah.
Walrus, nah, I'm good. And you can't swim, nah, I'm good. You know, I don't even know like because like we talked about this with like saber-toothed tigers too. Like at a certain point, it's like rams. Their horns can grow into their skull and impale them, and like to a certain extent these like elongated tusk teeth are like you can't close your mouth. I'm sure they're not great to eat with. They were like an evolutionary like those are one of the
Detriment.
reasons they probably got knocked out of the food chain, you know what I mean? They're just not great. And the walruses are kind of like not that they don't have like any contenders, but you know, like they're out in the cold. Who's fighting them, really? You know?
Yeah, I feel like we gotta learn more about walruses, bro. Like, but maybe I don't want to. Maybe that's it.
Yeah,
I want to be oblivious to
opens up
Keba.
top 5 facts about walruses. I feel like walrus is also one of those animals. It's like when we're like, ooh, otter's really cool, and then we looked up otters and we're like, never mind, otters are really like terrible and like worse than dolphins. They like necrophilia and shit. Like I remember that was like a very quick realization in the chat. Like people started Googling otters and then they're like, yeah, I'm not Googling otters ever again. It's okay.
Yeah. So another option, you know, if Keba isn't a Zoan, he's just a mink.
Yeah,
And that could be like,
or
the hybrid Dosundata that we've been looking for, but I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I wouldn't mind if that was a Dosundata, but it's a tough one. Maybe it's because I expected something different with Dosundata, but well, what's your take on the mink hybrid?
it's kind of the same thing where it's just like, you kind of want like okay. I think one of the reasons why Dosundata one falls short for me is because the better option that like is more functionally useful is if like that was what Blackbeard was, because that was the latest like, oh, there's a special kind of people, and that was like one of the blank ones, and now we just found out Dosundata, and it's like it doesn't need to be, but that would actually be like functional. Whereas like if half mink half giant is Dosundata, it's just kind of then it's just like, why, you know what I mean? Like, is that important? Not really. And will Oda go out of his way to make half mink half giant an important like keystone in the story? Maybe, but like also why? And then is his introduction really Keba, the walrus principal of the school? That's like, I'd prefer if Blackbeard was just a Dosundata, whatever that means. You know what I mean? I don't even know what it means. And then the other option is it's not Blackbeard and it's something else completely, and it is important. And then the other option is it's something else completely and it's not important. And I feel like all of those options are still better. Like, it's just like, is this guy being a Dosundata really? Do I really want to stick to that? Not really. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It could be it, but it's not my favorite. It doesn't really matter if he is. It's also weird if because like there's no relation to Zoe at the moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no relevance to the Minx at this point. So to randomly fit that in and then randomly make it important is like whatever. And then why would Scopper like mention them? You know what I mean? What a weird time to be bringing them up. So
I mean, that was true for Scopper,
one.
like no matter what. Like he's just over here listing up hybrid races, but I agree. I don't think he's the Dosindata, and that's just mainly because like in terms of importance, like if Keba's a really important character, then I could see this being huge. But right now, he just kind of seems like he's there. But of course, like we talked about earlier, like he could have like some extra story with King Harold that we don't know about, right? Some history with Saul, Dory, Brogy, because he was there back in the day. Like Keba could be kind of goated, but we just don't get too much from him here, which is kind of funny that I say that because we actually see Keba put in work. So after we see Keba in that office, right, they're over here warning him about the monsters attacking the school. Keba immediately jumps in with his hammer. Like, it's actually kind of impressive. Like, the Keba that we got in that first page versus the Keba that we got fighting the snake, they're like two different characters in my opinion. But yeah, he got serious. He beats a snake in a single hit. Well, not a single hit. He smacks it, and then Saul comes in for the finishing blow, and that's pretty much it for Jormungandr. So Saul uses final exam or demon purification, kind of like a mix on words here. I love it, you know. Saul over here hitting him with the good old hockey attack. And this kind of looks like Garp's attack, huh? Kind of looks like a Galaxy Impact in a way. But I mean, hey, he was, he was a VA alongside Garp back in the day, so maybe he picked up some good old moves from him, or maybe that's just his style, right? I mean, Saul never had any weapons beforehand, so how'd he fight? Well, he punched. He was a big puncher.
Acknowledged his past as a VA and how much that means.
I still
for
don't
him
like Saul. Like I still hate Saul. Like he's not my favorite character, but you know he looked okay right here. He looked okay.
He was probably one of the best VAs.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he's showing out hockey. Like, that's more than we've seen of the 9 vice admirals that showed up on Egghead, and that's modern times,
okay, but here's the thing. You got to think about coolness, Par. Like, as somebody like you, right, who reads a lot of Chinese manga, comics.
Why did you say Chinese? Like,
Korean manga. Like you like love those stories, bro. Like you love those stories, and in every single one of those stories, bro. The main character is always an aura farmer. I would not classify Saul as an aura farmer. Like he's low tier. He's just not. He just hasn't been my favorite. So it's personal bias. It's not like a real thing against Saul. It's just I don't like him. It's like how you don't like what's that one race of people you don't like?
Walruses.
Yeah, walruses. Like, you don't like walruses. Like, it's the same thing.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually funny. I was thinking about, like, I mean, this is just my brain brokenness, but, like, when I saw Keba and then I saw the fangs, I full on expected Oda to be like, twin fang over fang!
Oh,
and, like,
God, me too.
Yeah. And the thing is, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense, because he does have twin fangs. He has, like, well, like his horns on the top are just his hat, right? But like he has the fangs, and they're, you know what I mean? Like it's like the perfect Oda could have done twin fang, like a Naruto reference. But
it's also funny because like Keba means fang in Japanese, so it wouldn't even be that crazy, you know? Just give him a fang attack. Which do you like Keba from Naruto?
He had his ups and downs. Like I think like he was on an upward trajectory, and then he just was he only had like one moveset. He was like a broken Pokemon. Like anytime there was anything, he twin fang over, and in reality, he got stunted by Akumaru. His dog carried like 99% of his character and his ability, and like without his dog he couldn't really do much.
And it sucks because like as he gets older, his dog gets older, so I think by the end of the series Akumaru is like a geriatric patient, just couldn't really move, just big and fat. It's like, oh god, no.
Yeah. Doesn't he becomes head of the police force, I
Carried
believe,
by the
right?
dog, dropped by the dog. Yeah, I think he did. I think he took over his mom's position, but yeah, I mean, like, I
Yeah.
really like Keba in the beginning. Like, him versus Sakon and Ukon. Oh, great
Yeah.
fight. And then, what was his name? Was it Conjuro? The puppet guy. I think it was Conjuro. Conjuro comes in and helps him, and it's like, it's such a great fight, bro. Like, I really loved a lot of the characters from Naruto, but they really got, like, gapped when we hit Shippuden, which is so sad.
Yeah, I mean, and his gap was like terrible because his was like, in a way, his was worse than Ten because like
No,
he
it was.
literally
Okay, no. You can't say that. Stop.
he had one
10-10
move.
is the
What
worst.
do you mean?
Same with
No,
10-10. 10-10 just throws, she throws objects. What do you mean?
Ten got the legendary
No,
jewel
you're
treasures.
so joking.
No.
Oh,
all right,
you from Ginkaku?
I'm not
Okay.
saying 10-10 was better than. I'm saying that she at least had more. She got better. Kiba just had Akamaru, which is fine, but it was just Akamaru who did the moves.
That's like me saying 10-10 has just weapons. It's so lame.
But the legendary.
She got that at the very end and used it once, and it didn't work. What are we talking
and
about?
that's still better than Keba.
No,
What
it's
do you
okay.
mean?
No, moving on. Back to One Piece. I'm done with
No,
this conversation. No,
that's
Par
so
has
much
the
better than
worst Naruto takes. You cannot say
Wait,
10-10's over
no.
Keba.
I'm not saying 10-10's over Keba. I'm saying that Keba.
In terms of even in coolness points, no.
I'm not even saying. I'm saying in moveset. I'm saying at least 10-10.
That's even worse.
He had. What did he have besides Twin Fang over Fang? Explain.
Brother, he had
In
the thing where
like,
he turned into a giant monster version of Akamaru, a dual-headed dog. The
and
guy's
what
like
did he
damn
do
near the Cerberus.
and what did he do as the dog?
A giant twin fang over Fang. But it's cooler than 10-10. Woo! It's better than that. What are we talking about?
You just explained that
10-10 jumps in the air, spins in a circle, and throws kunai. We're not having this debate. No.
He turns into giant demon dog. I was with
the
you.
Keba disrespect is insane.
Does twin fang over fang again.
The Keba disrespect is too wild. I'm not taking it. The fact that you are defending 10-10 is insane. I feel like, man, Par is reading too many. He's reading too many mangas. He's like, a woman's in danger. Time to step in. Over here, pushing up his glasses, stepping in to take the blow for 10-10. I can't believe this.
I get it. I know why you're pushing my focus on Kiba's moveset to everything else, 10-10, whatever, because you are just like Keba, the one trick pony Kazakhs. Just the same move. Just jump in.
10-10 has one move too. What are we talking about? It's not even a good argument.
She doesn't have one move.
She literally has one move.
Her problem is that she's just like, oh, I'm the weapons master. She just isn't good at anything. Like that.
Exactly.
That's her problem.
She's not good. She has no abilities.
I'm saying that
she summoned a tool scroll dragon once.
No.
It's not good.
The thing is, you know what this reminds me of? The Bruce Lee thing. It's like, I'm not afraid of the guy who has 1,000 kicks. I'm afraid of the guy who is one thing and he did it 10,000 times. But the problem is that Keba has that one thing and loses all the time with that one move. Doesn't matter. Demon God, he still lost. I didn't say that 10-10 over Keba. I said his moves makes it like it's like as bad as 10-10, like worse as far as that. Like, I don't know how in any aspect you could be worse than 10-10 if you were to like draw a graph, but somehow Keba is worse in one attribute. I didn't say that he's overall worse than 10-10. I'm saying that somehow he scored lower than 10-10 in moveset. That's
and
so
I don't
insane.
agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's like a character in League that every single button does the same move. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter, it's just the same move set, and it does the same thing, it loses. That's what it does. And then the worst part is The dog always gets. Why did Akamaru take the brunt of all the pain always? That was always fucking. At
I
least
can't
in
believe
10-10,
bro.
it was random weapons that she didn't give a shit about. Akamaru got beat up every single time because
The
Keba
fact
couldn't
that
figure out a
10-10's
different
getting
move,
a high
bro.
from par 2025, man, this is a bad timeline.
Nah,
so
nah.
we go
I'm
on.
against
No, we're going
Masai
on.
supports animal
No,
abuse
we're
because
moving on.
Keba couldn't figure out a
Man.
move that would save Akamaru, bro.
All those Chinese comics really just rotted his brain, dude.
You saying Chinese like that?
What do you mean? Dude, I'm part Chinese, bro. I can say it however I want, man.
Yeah, but like it's just kind of like, damn, bro. What do you mean?
Those Chinese comics has really got the part, bro. Really distorting his views on reality. So
that's so crazy.
Saul and Keba here, they defeated the snake. We see that Keba has a pretty cool weapon. It's just like a regular hammer. Do you have a hammer like that, actually?
Like a normal hammer?
Yeah, it's like a 2x4 hammer though, right? Because it's specifically used to like take out nails too, like a 2-in-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's not as common anymore.
It's not really.
I mean, it's still common, but I feel like most people just have like the mallet type of hammer nowadays.
Dang.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta have everything. Yeah, I think I have that hammer right over there.
It's not a bad hammer.
Yeah.
I need to pick one up. I have one that's close to it, but
useful. Yeah,
I kind of just use pliers to take out nails, which probably not for the best, but well, the pliers are like shaped around the nail, so kind of works.
I mean, you could just always be that person that never makes mistakes. Nah, but even if sometimes you just gotta pull them out. Yeah, no, that hammer is way too useful.
Yeah, the hammer's really useful.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the hammer guys, which funny that we have like so many hammers popping up, right? It's like a lesser version of Loki's hammer. Oh, here's a good question. Would you rather have Keba's hammer or Loki's hammer?
Keba's.
Really? Even with okay, but let's say Ragnar comes with like the lightning though.
Oh, what the hell? Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
Wait, you didn't hear me. Wait, you didn't hear what's so special about Keba's hammer though. You want to hear it?
Oh, okay. What's special about Keba's hammer?
The Keba's hammer is blackened.
And
it's like a blackened blade, dude.
By me, or is it painted?
No, it's by Keba himself. He painted the hammer black. Or wait, he coated the hammer black permanently.
Yeah, because I was about to catch you because I was like, well, yeah, because like if I could blacken that, surely I could blacken the other one. Like that's kind of
hey.
Yeah.
Keba's a strong guy.
The Mihawk conundrum. Did he blacken it or did he paint it? Did he do it himself?
You know what?
Yeah.
To speak on how strong Keba is, he even has the same gag as King Neptune, huh? Oh, my back hurts.
Oh, did he have that? I missed that. What the heck?
Yeah. It's when him and Saul are like posed on top of the snake. He says, my back. And then you could see like shockwaves coming out of his back. Yeah, that's King Neptune.
Yeah.
And then King Neptune's apparently like the strongest fisherman alive. Right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't believe it?
I think okay. I actually think King Neptune was really strong back in the day, but like he's not in his prime anymore, so we don't see it. Like I feel like King Neptune in his prime could like fight Jinbei, which sounds absurd, but the old guy hype is crazy.
You're not even close, bro. You're so off.
I'm not
King
taking
Neptune.
I'm not taking any opinions from a guy who glazes 10-10.
Okay, see, first of all, I think even at the worst take, most guys would glaze 10-10. I think you included.
No, I
you would
100%. No, dude.
Nah, hearing your
give me Eno, bro. Come on, what are we talking about? No, I never liked 10-10. Don't you dare put that on me. Don't put that weird fetish on me.
Oh, you bro, catch you on Twitch.
There's
one time.
There's Eno,
here's the kind of glaze you
Tsunade.
do, bro.
Like, come on, Samui from the Cloud Village. My God, Par, come on,
dude.
What are we talking about?
I think that's where you lost your people. They would glaze.
No,
I mean,
people
here,
understand.
would you glaze Tenten over Keba? I mean, here, if you want to glaze a dude, that's fine, bro. Fine.
It's
Glaze your
25 par.
glizzy all you
Come
want,
on.
bro. I remember when we one of our first collabs, you were all about that glizzy gobbler, bro. Just talking about glizzies nonstop.
Because Saint Saturn was eating it. It's plot centric. Yeah, sorry, Par.
Yeah.
When I talked about chapters in One Piece, I talked about everything. You didn't even know that Keba had his back hurt. You didn't even know.
Yeah, because do you think I mean, you said it earlier. You literally said like I don't even think that he's gonna be that important for your Dosun Data. Like you literally said it. My bad. I didn't notice his back hurt. Are you like the fuck?
Yeah, because I do my research. I said he might not be important, but I'm doing my research to make sure he's not. You know, I'm looking at everything.
Yeah, well,
you're
if
over
you
here just
did your
looking at
research,
1010.
you would know that. You would know. All right, you would know.
Hey, yo, when's your birthday? I'm sending you a body pillow of 1010. I'm done.
That King Neptune back in the day, top 30 easily.
Oh yeah, I mean I agree.
Oh yeah, see, that's what I've been saying. When I said that originally, like it was like that.
King Neptune is probably sure top 30, like maybe like number 30 or 29. But
yeah, I mean,
wait, then why did you disagree with the Jinbei take?
Because it's way beyond Jinbei. What do you mean?
You don't think Jinbei's top 30?
I'm not saying he's top 30, but like this is like Kaido top 5 like level, like insanity.
Oh, now okay. All right, so
that's King Neptune. Two friends, Roger, Whitebeard. Whitebeard literally was just like, this is my homie, bro. This is what Whitebeard only did that with like Odin, and what does that mean? He's just hella strong. King Neptune. See, people when Garp showed up to Galaxy Fist, they were all like, "Oh man," they were on the page like, "Dang, I guess he is strong." Like that was like what 50% of the community, Cole supporters, all those people. I guess he's not old, so me, it was already like, all right, if. And then Don Chinchao, they're like, I guess we got to talk about Don Chinchao in a different light. Me, I'm like, all right, Don Chinchao, if he's getting elevated, King Neptune was insane. And even King Neptune, in his old age, with his back, he still throws out marine, I forget what it's called, the ultramarine. That shit dwarfs anything Jinbei's ever done. It's crazy. Jinbei did the shoulder throw thing, is still like tiny compared to King Neptune, and that's what this back broke, and after getting like whoop ass. But like, if he wasn't old, he'd be cracked, bro. If you go back and you scale that ultramarine, that shit is insane. That shit is so insane. His ultramarine is like, I would honestly, this is wild. I want to see ultramarine versus like Kaido's Boro breath. Like it's like a Dragon Ball Z clash, dude. Yeah, see, that's what I meant. You got to do your research side. You got to look how big ultramarine is. It's pretty cracked.
So, Keba is a former giant warrior pirate. Another warrior in the school. Pretty cool, huh? It's kind of crazy that like a lot of the teachers are fighters, but they're teaching the kids not to fight. I think that's counterintuitive, man. Like, and the kids are impressed, right? They're like, whoa, like Principal was a warrior? Saul is strong? Like, they think it's so cool, but they don't think it's cool when, Colin's over here training to be the same as them. It's kind of crazy, bro. Like, these kids, I think they need some protein shakes, you know what I mean?
Maybe these were the warriors that like sucked. Like they were the weakest
like the kids?
of the. No, like the teachers.
Or Keba.
Like the teachers.
Oh, like Keba and Blade and Wolf and all that.
They were former giant warrior pirates, but like maybe they were just like the Usopp of the crew, There's
nothing wrong with being the Usopp of a crew.
Well, actually no. Usopp would be weird because like he would be gung ho about it, but like, I guess no. I think maybe the perspective is that like these were the stronger ones who were so strong they saw the like
they were enlightened.
Yeah, like that,
yeah,
like
could
that.
Be it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Like, cause I get that vibe from Ripley at least. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Ripley said that she was a former warrior too, right? Yeah.
like the Last Warriors, which from Ripley's perspective, that's the kind of take that I got at that point. Was like, well, the thing was Ripley too was that we didn't really get. I don't know if we got a profile of her perspective of like King Harold. Like it was Ange who was just like, oh, King Harold's like like great king, kind of like that. But like Ripley didn't really. I don't know. I don't remember if Ripley said yay or nay, positive or negative. It was just like we're not teaching the kids like that. We're the last warriors. It's kind of like baseline. There's no opinions thrown out there.
Yeah.
But like when we got Ripley, that's what it felt like. It was like a warrior who was so strong and whatever that they're like, yeah, like it's not war. Why would you need to do that? And it's kind of like the Vinland Saga, like like the realization of the meaninglessness, or not meaninglessness, but like the dead end of just being a warrior, I guess. Yeah, that's probably that's
So
where these guys are at. They're
so
the
since
strongest.
so many of these guys are fighters, then would it not be odd if Ange wasn't also a fighter?
Would it not be odd if
Or
Ange
would it be
wasn't
odd? Sorry.
Would it be odd?
A little bit strange, right? If everybody's like over here fighting, they got some kind of combat expertise, and then we just have Ange who just doesn't know anything.
Maybe that's why they stuck her in the library, so that she like learns. But I guess she also is a language arts teacher. We don't know which one came first, the the chicken or the egg here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would it be odd? We have to see the whole staff of to really, because at the moment maybe she's the odd one out, but maybe when we see the whole staff and then we realize like no, maybe they're the exceptions. The principal and Saul, who are already kind of like the principal and like random Navy guy who like washed up ashore here, like those two are like not the standard, I feel like. But given Ange's like awareness so far, what bird, like like just the way she proposed, like the perspective that we've gotten, I feel like she's not a warrior. So if it's not, is it odd amongst the school? I'll give it. I think it's a little interesting. I think it's a little. Yeah.
No, I'm on the same boat. Maybe Ange is gonna pull out some crazy abilities pretty soon. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, like oh no, this would be spoilers because it's like a new series, Kagurabachi. I don't know if you're like still current with it, but
yeah,
something recently happened with a female character. And then like imagine Ange was like that. Just closed eye. Boom. Like it's crazy.
Could be.
Yeah. That'd be kind of sick, honestly, if Ange had some mode like that. I like that. That would
like
be
a
kind of
hidden
cool.
strong character. I mean, I feel like that's a common like theme in all of your Chinese stories that you typically read.
Bro, Kagurabachi is literally not Chinese.
No, I'm not saying Kagurabachi is, but like all the other stories you read though, like the other 99%.
So you're saying like a sleeper character who just like doesn't know their own strength, but then pulls it out from random quirk is a Chinese trope and not just a trope in fiction in
It's
general,
a trope in
but
fiction
also
in general,
shonen.
But I mean, I'm just relating to something that I'm just relating to where you commonly find it though.
Wait, but
For you specifically.
okay, but you also commonly find it in the thing that I reference, Kagurabachi, which is
but that's like the 1 percentile of like everything else you read though.
Okay, so Sai's now giving the Chinese all the tropes that I would say that the Japanese industry kind of perpetuated. That's crazy, dude. That's wild.
I'm just relating to something that hey,
I didn't even know that was a Chinese trope, to be honest.
It's
that's
kind of
crazy.
like,
I guess You being Chinese.
I'm just trying to be respectful in your hometown. You know, I'm just like, oh, Par loves Chinese comics. Yeah, I'm related to Chinese comics. It happens everywhere, but
you whose hometown? You're the one who's derogatorily saying Chinese because apparently
it's not
you get the
derogatory,
T
Par.
word.
There's nothing wrong with liking Chinese comics, man.
No, I'm not. No, because you say Chinese as if you're like, I don't know.
I'm putting respect on it as
you
a
wear a
Chinese
red
guy
hat or
myself. Like I
something.
put respect on it, man.
It's like you have. It's like right next to you have a red baseball cap or something. You're saying it with an accent.
There's no accent, bro. Like, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, English isn't the first language, man. Come on.
Damn, you just said English. Dang, make English great.
Par's a wild guy. So, after Saul and Keba beat Jormungandr, Chopper and Robin pop out of his beard. And it's kind of funny because it's like, if things really got out of hand, they could have fought too.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I guess they're just here now. I mean, they've always been here. We don't know how far, like, the library is from, like, the school. It's probably, like, okay, I was about to say for a giant, it's like throwing a rock across the street, but like for the Straw Hats, it's probably like a whole like football field, right? Like everything's so damn big here. Like I guess being in Saul's beard is the best mode of transportation. So Saul says,
"Would you do it?
Didn't mean to scare you guys. No, I don't like Saul.
No, I'm. Would you use the hair of a giant as a mode of transportation?
Depends which giant.
Hold on. Keba.
Ripley, Gerd. No, not Keba.
Damn.
I'm walking, dude.
Yarul?
No, not Yarul either. I'm walking.
Dang, just not dudes.
Yeah, my pride, man.
I was surprised with all the glaze you gave Keba. Like I was just you seem fine with glazing dudes. All of a sudden just not fine.
Yeah, better than you glazing old dudes like King Neptune and 1010.
How is 1010 an old dude? Wait,
you know why they call her 1010, right?
No.
All right, we'll leave it at that. So we meet the we meet the PE teacher, Mr. Wolf. And Mr. Wolf got beaten, bro. Like this guy got cooked. What the hell happened to him? We don't know. Wolf Sensei doesn't tell us anything. He just says, the children, they walked off. They're sleepwalking. They didn't say a word. And he leaves us off with a very ominous warning. He says, Saul, don't touch the children. Why are you laughing? Wait, why are you laughing, dude? Being a dog.
It was funny then. It was funny now. There's just no way around it. Just all of the circumstances in every portrayal of don't touch the children. It's just so funny. Like,
yeah,
he gives us no context.
So
like, he doesn't. Like, you know what would be more useful if he explained what happened to him. Like, I got my ass whooped from touching the kids. Like, oh, why were you touching the kids, Wolf? Like, whoa!
Yeah. I didn't think about it in the beginning, but like when I made the review video, I'm not gonna lie. When I said don't touch the kids, Saul, I had to stop for a second. Like, oop, that sounds kind of silly. The whole thing is funny, man.
He gives us no context, and it's in every way it's worse because it's like even if you're not trying to meme around it, it's like bro gave us the not useful information. It's like why?
Okay, but you have to admit, Saul also gets some of the blame because he hears "don't touch the children" and then he just keeps on running. Like you think he'd be like, "Why? Why do I not touch the kids? Let me know, brother." Like,
but they say what happened, and then he goes, "I'm fine," but the children, they walked off and they didn't say a word. It's like, okay, but like that's fine, right? Like, the guy, I get it. He's beat up. He's what could I expect of this guy, right? But yeah, they're just over him. Not much useful information was given in a prioritized way, but yeah, don't touch the children. Very ominous. Very ominous. Be careful, Mr. Saul. The children, don't touch them. Oh, thanks, guy. Thanks.
Don't touch him, Saul, please. Anything but that. Yeah, come to find out, Saul's the main villain of Elbaf.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
All I'm finding out is Keba needs to check all of the teachers, from Ange to this guy. They like, why are you touching the kids? Why are you asking the kids what they fear? Like, what okay, we need to talk to all of the teachers. Need to have a what are they called, PTA? No, that's a parent teacher
They just need a meeting.
Development development day, where it's like a half day or whatever. I don't know if you had that down in you had like leadership class. I don't know if you had like.
Now you're just moving on leadership class, bro. Leadership class was fire, man.
Wait, but did you have like we had like a thing, like I think it's like once a Tuesday out of every month. It was like not every month, out of every like quarter, there was like a development day where the teachers, it was like a half day and the teachers would like run through their curriculum or some shit. Did you guys have that?
No.
Dang, see, that's on like you guys had leadership day. We had like teacher development day or some shit like that. I forget what it was.
My teachers called. Are pretty developed by the time like they become teachers. They don't need a development day to grow.
Yeah. They don't need a training arc. They don't need a hyperbolic time chamber day.
They don't need to train with U.S. history or something.
I was wondering. I was like, what? So like, what did they do in the half day? Was it really that helpful? But apparently it was. Teachers liked it, so.
Yeah, imagine they just gooned out.
No, I don't want to imagine that.
Fair enough. So, when it comes to not touching the kids, why do you think they shouldn't touch them? So, like, with all the context of the rest of the chapter in mind, why do you think that Saul cannot touch the kids? Is it going to be like one of those things where, like, he touches them and then he falls asleep, or, like, a nightmare comes out? Or do you think Gunko's arrow attacks him? Like where are you?
Because then you just... It doesn't want to be put on a list, with the.
Hey, that's another reason to not touch kids. Amen.
Yeah, they need to be near a school. You know what I mean? Like
people are calling him a Jaguar D Diddy. Off of this chapter is kind of crazy.
Yeah, Jaguar Diddy Saul. yeah. The D stands for Diddy. Yeah, I mean, I just figure it's something Holy Knights related. That's why it's kind of, because like the amount of whoop ass that clearly Wolf got, you'd like I think the explanation is that he got whooped so hard and he doesn't understand how. And like I'm assuming it's kind of like the giant guards where they were just kind of like confused. You know, like they just got wrapped up by. At the time, people thought it was bandages, right? And I get, from our perspective, it looked like bandages, but it was an arrow, right? And that giant got, like, I don't know,
destroyed, dude.
He could, like I'm not
broken
sure
ribs,
if he could sit down,
bleeding,
and
my
tell
God.
Gerd, like, oh yeah, it was the arrow no me. Like I'm pretty sure he still has no clue what happened to him. So. If that's similar to what happened here, because we saw that the arrow was chaperoning the kids around. If the arrow is just like a sentient like bodyguard, and it just like whooped his ass, and he saw a floating arrow just kick it, like maybe he doesn't even know what happened. So like that might explain why he's just like, don't touch the kids. Why? I can't really explain to you why, because like
I don't even know.
Yeah, like how do you like, even if you want to explain an arrow beating his ass senseless, how would he go around explaining that, right? That's like the boogeyman right there. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree. That's fair. Like like it's something you can't really talk about.
Yeah, it's not even it's like an embarrassing thing. It's more like, no, like you can't even describe. How do you describe that to somebody? Yeah, so that's probably why he said what he did, and maybe that's an inkling to what transpired here. It's just like a Gunko situation, you know. You got gunked on.
Yeah, you got gunked. So I gotta ask now. How do you feel about this being like a Sommer thing? So Sommer at the end of the chapter says like a really ominous line. He's, you know, I've seen a couple of different translations. It's like, oh, love hurts when it hurts. To love is to pain oneself. Like a bunch of different translations for that. What if, like, if you touch the kids, like thorns come out of him, or you take damage from it. And it has to do like with his sword that has like the thorn like guard on it, which seems like a little bit counterintuitive. It's like, wait, like, does he not hurt himself sometimes with that? But like maybe that's his whole shtick. Like you touch the kids, something you love, and then boom, you get hurt.
Yeah.
Like thorns come out. Like not even Gunko's there, but like thorns.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to like the breakdown of where the Holy Knights are being placed, because like there's a certain scope where, you know, one person's doing it or multiple people are doing it, and like Killingham has the whole shtick of sleeping. So I feel like maybe the sleeping thing, maybe it's related to him. I mean, they're literally sleepwalking, and it seems like he like that's like his thing. It'd be interesting if it wasn't related to him at all, and instead it was like the manifestations of the nightmares was him, which is possible. But at the same time, we don't know how bloated some of these powers are, right? Like, there's a world where like it's just all Gunko, which is the weirdest world in my opinion, right? But like people could say like, oh yeah, her arrow's there, so like maybe her arrow is dictating that they fell asleep. But then there's also the weird part where, you know, not to like, it's not skipping around per se, but like, you know, Chopper and Robin being here is like interesting because it's like, oh, they'd be helpful, at least Chopper, right? And he's like, oh, let me examine them. I'm a doctor, as if that's any like. That doesn't. It's like one of those things where it's like, you know, on a plane, like, oh, the person passed out. Is anyone a doctor? And then like you see Chopper raise his hand, and like imagine you're like Chopper, or you're friends with Chopper, and Chopper raises your hand, and you're like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I feel at the moment, and it's also like, what is Chopper gonna do? Like he's gonna be like, yes, they are clinically asleep. Like they are. Like, is he just gonna tell us the obvious?
It's crazy.
And then the other side of that is that whatever did this pinpointed the kids amongst the adults in a way where we kind of like, not, I'm not gonna say like we saw what happened, but like we see them, and there's nothing like weird. There's no arrow, there's no like smoke. The Holy Knights are so far away, and somehow without even our like observations like being able to point out anything here, like it's kind of wild that the kids passed out in front of us without any of the giants being like, oh yeah, that's weird, do you smell that thing, do you hear that thing? There's no, usually I feel like when you like get a sleepwalker trope kind of thing, the kids are all falling asleep, and well, where are the kids going? It's like you hear like a bell, like a ringing bell at the nighttime kind of thing.
Yeah, like
or
the
like,
Pied Piper, right? Playing the flute.
Yeah, exactly. There's like a tune, there's a sound, there's an ominous, like, you know, even a smell kind of thing play. Like they have a whole roofie cloud, dude. None of that. There's nothing. And the adults are completely not affected. And I think like Avatar, I think like Pokemon, like that, there's so many, like Jigglypuff, like, you know what I mean, like there's so many episodes where this thing gets played out, and none of those tropes are at least obviously here, which is so interesting. And so like as far as what power is involved, absolutely no clue, because of how mysterious Oda kind of makes this. Yeah. And whatever it, like, if this is a Holy Knight and they can pinpoint like a demographic, that's insane. You know what I mean? Like that's wild. It's completely unaware. And yeah, like I guess like Chopper, Robin, they're not like the best combatants, but like they are pretty cracked, and they're probably the more aware combatants of the bunch, you know. And then also the giant warrior pirate, they're all warriors, and so like the battle tested warriors, they seen some shit, you know what I mean? Like when Dory and Brogy landed on Egghead, and they gave us the validation of like, hey yo, the Gores, we ain't never seen some shit like this in all my years. You know what I mean? That was some good valid take and of like a really good narrator, not narrator, trusted, I forget what it is, trusted narrator, reliable narrator, right? Where it's like that's really valuable information that Dory and Brogy never seen anything like what the Gorosei pulled out. That's a good litmus test for what we're gonna see. And here we are, we got giant warriors, and they have no idea what's happening here. So that's it's kind of cracked as far as if the Holy Knight. Well, the Holy Knights have to be, responsible for this. This is kind of like what scope was it? Devil fruit? Is it scientific?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it has to do with their mythical transformations. I think, like, the thing is with the Kirin, right, Killingham, there's no, like, signs online that I've seen, or, like, websites that have even talked about, hey, like, the Kirin is known for putting people to sleep, and it's specifically kids. Like, I haven't seen that at all. But we assume it's him because he's
Chinese
the sleeping guy, right?
Yeah.
He even falls asleep in this chapter, so it's like, okay, the sleeping is probably him. And the thing is that I wouldn't be surprised if Oda just gave the Kirin this brand new ability, because he did that with Saturn, right? Because Saturn was the Ushioni, Gyuki, whatever you want to call them. They're both kind of the same. They're both the same thing. And he gave Saturn poison abilities, and that's brand new. Right, as far as like the eye staring and a couple of the other abilities, yeah, like that is par for the course. But for Saturn, Oda did give him something brand new, so maybe that's the thing here. Maybe he just tacked on another ability to the Kirin, and it has to do with his personality, which we have seen in One Piece. Right, your imagination kind of dictates what you're able to do with your Devil Fruit, for example. So maybe the Kirin, or even if this is just like a straight mythological transformation, like not even a Devil Fruit, I think that could be the same thing. Maybe because he imagines this is how it works. It does work that way.
Yeah. I mean, even if we were to flip it too, like let's say it wasn't that, and he was bringing the nightmares to life. That's also not Kirin related either. So as far as I know, so even whichever way you go, it would be outside of the normal tropes that at least I'm familiar with. Which like
and
the only thing that
tropes.
The only thing that I'm really familiar with is the thunder lightning thing that like, and obviously this mythical strength of a mythical beast, but primordial being kind of thing. But like, like sleep slash dreams, that kind of stuff isn't really associated. I think like the only thing maybe is like horns. Like anything with horns can have like mythical properties, but it's not like he's feeding them his horn juice or anything like that. Like it's not like they're
like rubbing his horn and then it releases a sound or something.
Yeah, it's not making a pill or anything like a I forget what they're called, but so it's just kind of interesting with the scope of it because that's where it's like maybe Sommers is doing it, but then Killingham has the sleeping association. So like, why would it be separated? But I guess he could be associated with the nightmare part too. But yeah, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild seeing this like go down the way it is too. Like they're miles away too, right? So regardless of who's doing it, how they're doing it, it's the fact that like they aren't even there is insane.
Yeah, I've seen some people saying it's obvious that like Killingham is doing the sleep powers, and it's like, yeah, I agree. I think it's obvious it's him too, but like it's not stated, right? And then plus like we have no inclination. Like they don't say like, oh, Kirin, good job making the kids fall asleep. Like they never say that. And then even the same with the nightmares that happen later on, it's like we have no clue. Like it could be either one of them, or
like saying it's
both powers could go to
is,
one character.
Saying it's obvious is kind of like.
It makes a lot of assumptions.
Or it's not even that, and it's also just not acknowledging the part where it's just like, okay, but like I'm not saying like we have to see it on screen, but more so like they're not even on the screen. Like they're not even there. Like what I mean? It's and then there's also three like not Gunko. Okay, let's eliminate Gunko, but like Shamrock isn't there. We don't see Shamrock, and I'm not saying that this is him. I don't personally believe that that's attributed to him. He may not even be here, but like Somers is also there. And it's like, so okay, so then Killingham just doing all of it? Like, where's Somers involved, right? And what is interesting though is Killingham says like, all right, that should do it. And it's interesting because he like nods off, and it's right as like we see the onset of all the monsters. So it kind of gives the association to that, like, all right, that should do it. And like, and they say, yep, good work. And they're talking about the monsters. Like even Somers is like, what are you most afraid of, right? And like maybe that means that he did the nightmare thing, but it kind of feels like he's saying it like as a spectator, like he's interested, like what is she, what it, like, you know, maybe he tells us what he's afraid of, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it
that's
feels
the whole
like
thing.
the monsters associated to killing him a little bit more than even the sleeping. But also if he says, all right, that should do it, but not all the kids are asleep, then is because like not all the kids are asleep yet, right?
We don't know. I think they all are, to be honest.
Are they all asleep right
I mean,
now?
we don't have like a kid counter, but last we saw, the kids that we were with all passed out too, alongside the
That's
kids that
true.
are already passed out. We don't see any kids past
That's
that
true.
too.
That's
So
true.
maybe they
That's
are all
true.
passed out. But yeah, like
Yeah, I guess-
essentially what this boils down to is like there's so many different ways to interpret like Somers, Killingham, and Gunko's lines that you can't tell who is attributed for what power here, or if it's both coming from the same person, right? And that's kind of like the main hang up. And one theory I've been seeing pop up recently, which I kind of want to talk about right here too, people are saying that Killingham is a Baku yokai. And Bakus are known to be like dream eaters. And they bring out like the bad dreams of kids. But the thing with the Baku is that it looks nothing like Killingham. So that's my main hang up. Like the Baku is very like specific. It's like the body of like a bear and the head of an elephant. That is every single depiction of a Baku. Whereas a Kirin, which is, you know, a play on words with Killingham here, like it looks just like him. So I think that's kind of where I'm hung up with that. So I don't think he's a Baku. I don't think that's what's going on here. Maybe Somers is, right? You know, Somers is still there. But another popular theory I've seen too, which I agree with this one, but my first thought was the boogeyman. You know, obviously that's more like a, I don't even know, is it Western? I guess so. Like a Western demon ghost kind of thing. Like maybe it's a boogeyman.
I think clowns and boogeyman are Western.
Yeah, like when it comes to the boogeyman, like he only affects kids and he does bring out their worst nightmares. I don't know if Oda's gonna do that, like, Somers is the boogeyman. But I mean, it would explain why only kid nightmares are coming out. Because as it stands right now too, the nightmares that we see in this chapter, they're only from kids. We do not know yet if this works on adults. I like to think it does, but we don't know. Like I said, like, I mean, you know, I guess that's the whole point of this video, like where we're kind of just talking about like, yeah, like we don't know exactly what's happening. Like we could be 90% sure, but it's not 100 yet.
That's also a good segue into the other option that at least I've heard is that like someone responsible for a part of these is Ange, and we don't know, maybe Ange is coordinating, helping, you know, like whether she's like strong or not. Like I think a lot of people are on the boat that like there is a stronger world now where there's some coordination, there's some interesting timing. I think me and you talked about it, how like if I think that maybe this is like one of those red herring moments, like if she were like a villain, this is one of the ones where Oda's just like, this isn't the reason to think that she is, like this is the one where Oda's like trying to confuse us. But like, you know, the prompt, when you kind of think about it, we kind of she makes it a little confusing in this chapter, because she makes it almost sound like the monsters that we're seeing them because she had the kids draw out the nightmares earlier. But if these are the things that the kids feared the most, and the person's power was to bring to life what they feared the most, then it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if Ange had that prompt or not. Yeah. So if Ange if that prompt was meaningful and that was like a time thing, then that would bring you to the conclusion that she coordinated to a certain extent, like this whole kidnapping heist situation, which then it's like, okay, so then is her power, is she involved? Are the kids falling asleep? Is that part, like, is that separating
Somebody said that
from
Ange
killing
drugged
him?
the kids, which is so funny.
Yeah, people were on her drugging the kids before. Like when Shams was on the way here, or not on the way here, said like Shams was like, "Oh, we're gonna go for the kids," and then everyone was like, "Oh, you know who's with the kids? Ange." And you know what Ange is gonna do? Drug them. And that was
And that
literally
was like
before anything.
and the funniest part is that it's all a meme. Like it all spawned from like the meme of like Ange is evil because I don't like Ange. And it's like now it's like we're looking at her. It's like, you know, she and that's the reason why I can't go hog in on Ange, because I'm so tied to this meme of a theory. And now that it has like something to it, it's like, wait a minute, like I gotta take this seriously now. Like, can this actually be Ange doing it? And I could see it, but I think we need more from this. But you gotta admit, it is kind of crazy that Ange asked them to draw their worst nightmares earlier today, and then here we are. That same day, the God Knights are here, and they're using those fears, and we don't know if like you said, we don't know like the prerequisites to like how these nightmares work. Like if Ange never asked them to draw it out, would they come to life? Or like, is this just a way of Oda like showing us like, yeah, like the kids drew it, they're scared of this, so that's why they spawned in? Because without like that narrative, like we wouldn't know, right? Like without Ange doing this, we wouldn't know that these are the kids' nightmares. So it could just be a plot thing, but
yeah,
like that's the hard part.
That's actually what you just said is like my other favorite part about this is that and I think this is also why it makes it hard for me to like use this moment to jump on the Ange is evil thing, because you could also flip it. Without Ange doing that prompt, they might not have ever figured out what this power was.
Yeah.
So in a way, Ange kind of you could see it as without Ange giving that prompt, that they would have been completely handicapped as far as understanding what the hell was going on. If she never gave the prompt and the person's power was to bring their nightmares to life, they would never know that these were the nightmares. So Ange doing this is the greatest asset that they had in some perspectives. And
Gave
so
us info. Thank you, Ange.
there's a way to look at this that Ange actually helped out more than anybody, because she like that I was also saying, like, I was memeing on the stream, but like, it's still we have to get the official translations, but like asking the kids to draw their nightmares out isn't a bad thing. That's a normal thing, but it's the way it was said in the chapter, whereas it's like, what did you ask them? Like, why did you ask them to
it's funny. It's funny because like, was it Saul or Keba? But they said what?
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. Here we go. It's Keba.
No,
he says that's crazy.
Yeah, like that's valid, because it's like, why?
I recognize these monsters. Are you serious, Ange?
yeah, it's like if she said like, oh yeah, the kids are scared, and so like, she explained, but like, what did she say exactly? She's just like, I don't even remember, but like, she goes, oh, it was just earlier today, blah blah blah. What'd she say? She said, no, it wasn't that. It was the title of the chapter. The title of the chapter is like, the things I find the things that frighten me, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, reasonably, that's what the kids like are thinking when they're drawing this. So that's what it's like, wait, so that's the prompt that Ange gave? That's a little weird. That's a little, I'd be frazzled too as an adult. Like, why is someone asking me to do this, And
then people are bringing up like, oh, Ange is like the language arts teacher, right? Like, why is she asking them to do that? Like, should this be like an art teacher or something? Or, I don't know, a counselor?
Yeah. Oda's taking the arts liberal. He's using the word art there. Yeah.
Ange is getting like secondary jobs. Not only is she the liberal arts or literary arts teacher, but she's also, I guess, the class psychiatrist.
This is if Oda was your substitute teacher for a language arts class.
Yeah.
As you draw, he's like, "What do you mean this isn't the art class?" And they're like, "No, it's language arts, Oda." Like,
yeah. So right now, like, jokes aside, do you think Ange is evil?
No. I
I
think that
don't think
this
she is either, but I
I
want to
think
run
this
with the
chapter
gag.
yeah, I think this chapter kind of reversed a lot. Like I think that everything prior was kind of it was to frame this moment to make you think that she was evil. Because like this is really damning, you know what I
The
mean? Like
timing of it is just so crazy.
yeah, but like
Earlier today, they did this.
when you sit and think about it, it's kind of like I don't know. I like, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, like she could be an accomplice, but like, but then I'm like, I feel like the Holy Knights are fully capable without her help. Also, like I'm looking at the situations, do I think that the Holy Knights coordinated with them? Where they were like, it felt like they didn't even know where the school was. You know what I mean? It's not like it's also a lot like on Egghead when they were like, oh, let's call our help in, right? And me and you were like, yeah, but it couldn't be like Stassi because like she was with Rob, Lucci, and
Yeah, I
Kaku,
remember
and she
that.
took the phone call right in front of them. Like what? Like that was
It's
odd. But
still
like
never
we didn't
really
even.
explained. Just
Yeah, and like
you gotta
I
believe
guess
it. It's like, oh, fair enough.
yeah, I guess like in this situation you could be like, oh yeah, they contacted her without them knowing is telepathy, whatever. Like now that that's a thing, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm on the boat that like they don't need help. I don't think that the Holy Knights really need
I mean,
and
it's not really.
reasonably.
I mean, we don't have to look at it like help. It could just be like they're having fun with it, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like it could be that like yeah, I
Like this is
mean
the funnest way to
Shamrock's
do it. Why not?
I feel like Shamrock's is like, "Oh, with your powers, we could do some interesting stuff, right?" Like I feel like it's just Killingham and Somers doing this. And Gunko obviously. Um and Ange is just like she's in a bad spot, just visually bad, like timing wise, you know.
The
And
optics aren't good.
yeah, I mean, how about this? Like from the teacher's perspective, right? They're seeing the sentient monsters come to life, and all they can see is Ange prompted them to draw these earlier in the day. Do you like where if you're one of the teachers there and you're here, listen, and this is what you got, and is telling you like, oh, I had the kids draw these earlier today. What are you thinking right now? Like, are you locking Ange up for a second? Like, are you like,
I
like,
wouldn't lock
all
her up,
right,
but I'd be like, what the hell? Why'd you do that?
but like, are you like what? Like, because they don't know that the Holy Knights are here. So like, what are
No.
you? And like, this is obviously not a normal circumstance on Elbaf. So like, what do you like? Because you have to get to the bottom of it. Why is this happening? What's happening? You know what I mean? Like, are you? You're not sus like of Ange. Like, I don't think even as a teacher you're like, oh, Ange did this,
Yeah, I wouldn't be sus of
right?
Ange. If I was Keba, I wouldn't be sus.
Yeah, yeah. So like I'm thinking like even from their perspective, I don't think Ange is that suspect. And I don't know. It's just like I feel like there's a lot of reasons
Not
to
yet.
not think that Ange is a problem.
But I do
And I
think it's
don't
funny how like the Ange thing is like, back when we first talked
taking.
about Ange, we talked about like Anger Boda, which is like, oh, maybe Ange is short for that. Like that's the Norse equivalent. And
Oh
in
yeah, that's
mythology,
also.
Anger Boda is the mother of monsters, literally creating monsters. And it's like, okay, like now we're just playing into the meme, right? Like that's a lot.
Yeah, no, I completely because like I remember when you said that for the theory, and that was one of my favorite parts. I was like, oh shit, because like at the time you're like, ooh, Ange and Loki. I think this is before you famously had the theory that they were uh Ange was half siblings. Oh, because you first thought that one all on your own. Um,
Yeah,
and
I'm
you
over
like
here saying that Ange is like a King Harold offspring.
yeah, yeah, you alone, and um drawing some association to Loki at the time because Loki was like super mysterious, talking to like Mosa and stuff like that. Who is Ange? Where like is Ange protecting Mosa? There's all kinds of associations can be made. But then when you said the Angrboda thing, I was like, okay, that's kind of cracked. And yeah, like Angrboda is associated with Loki, mother of the monsters, because of Jormungandr and Fenrir and and others. And then if that's like one of those theories that's like it's
a meme,
probably,
but it's not bad.
yeah, like it's like one of those ones like this is like gold. This is gold for that. Like easily if you like, look back and like, oh shit, this is exactly what Sai said. Mother of monsters, Ange. Oh my god, this fits like a glove. Like OJ's, oh my god, this is insane. He did it. You know what I mean? And then like, I don't know. It's like, what did it? You know what I mean? Like Ange might as well write a book like, this is how I did it. If it is how I did it, you know what I mean? Like, but
we just need more. We need more information, but the theory isn't looking bad for Ange. Like, I feel like as the chapters went by, people were like, "Oh, Sai, like this Ange theory is getting crazy. Like, it doesn't make any sense." But now that they see this, it's like I don't think this is what pushes the needle, but it at least brings my needle back to life. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Angrboda is like the most damning thing. Like, if she is like the mother of monsters, which, I mean, technically, I mean, based on this chapter, she kind of, like, even if she isn't working with the Holy Knights, she kind of is technically the mother of monsters. I mean, come on. Like, wait, is it all? Angrboda made a lot of different monsters in Norse mythology. I know Fenrir and, was Fenrir one of them?
Yeah, it's Loki's children. In some Norse mythology, is Loki's children were Jormungandr and Fenrir.
Yeah.
And I think in those versions, Angrboda was the mom.
Yeah, Fenrir, Jormungandr, and Hel.
Yeah. Hel being the daughter, but it was like I don't know if like there was a form associated with that one.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like, so those are the three most greatest monsters that Angrboda spawned. And by the way, Angrboda like can literally be spelled Ange, like so like Ang, so like it's literally Ange, whatever. But
yeah,
there was one kid who said that they feared their mom. And it's like, I know, like, that's kind of like a rough one, like, goddess hell, like, how do you depict that? But what if that's, like, that depiction, like, mom?
Yeah.
So technically, Ange did create all three monsters of Angrboda's story.
It's like I was not confident. I was more confident on my take on Ange. And then you reminded me about the Angrboda thing, and now I'm lost. Because, like, that is such a good, like,
literally the
detail.
monsters that Ange helped create are the monsters from Norse mythology that Angrboda created.
Yeah,
literally and 3 for 3. If you think the mom is like a depiction of Hela, Hela is like a Marvel thing, but yeah, because like there literally is a lady on the far left that looks like Big Mom. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and like
it's a spicy theory, dude. It's like
it's
like a goth femboy.
This is like a Kinyamon moment. Oda is sitting there like sweating bullets because he had no idea about the Angrboda thing, but it's so just funny. Like fits so well. But like imagine how like not annoying. I don't even know what the word is here. Like, because there's a world where Oda intended the Angrboda connection for Ange, but he decided to use it as like a red herring. Like that's I'm not annoying.
Okay, here's the thing. Who in the world also thinks that Ange was evil? Like when they first got introduced, though, like nobody was suspecting Ange day one, except for my racist ass.
No, I was even before that. I was saying, yo, she's a lot. The moment you're crazy.
No, you always give me so much pushback for Ange.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What are you talking about? No, I didn't. I literally, when she opened her mouth on the beach, I was like, bro, there's something odd. Remember? I was saying like, who's this person?
You did not. You called me a madman.
No, what? No, that's crazy.
No, you called me a madman, dude.
I literally was saying, whoever's saying like, oh, Saul fell down and can't get back up. I was like, this person's a liar. Like, this makes no sense. And then when we got the situation and it was Saul, I was like, okay, whatever. But like at the very beginning, I was like, I don't like this
you're
person.
pulling a Spider-Man, dude.
No way, dude.
You're pulling a Spider-Man.
You literally gave me pushback on calling the person out for saying. I literally was saying like,
Never happened.
the life alert memes, like, okay, why doesn't they pick him up? This person's super weird. And then when Saul did the thing, I was like, all right. And then you brought up the thing. I didn't give you pushback. What are you talking about?
Oh, Par hated this theory to the hills and back. Par, the defender of 1010, the defender of Whitman, he did not like this theory.
That's crazy because every single week, I made a segment. Sai, bit your Ange theory. Why would I literally love the theory every single week. Everyone's like, oh, here comes Sai again with the Ange thing. I was like, no, let Sai spit, bro. And then you went. And I literally said right now when you brought the number one hater of the Ange theory. I said that was my favorite part of the theory. I literally said my favorite. Then even before you try to paint me in this, I literally said I love the theory. And when you said that was my favorite thing. You little goose, bro.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I miss my best friend Par. Ever since he started reading Chinese comics, he's changed, dude.
My favorite part of the theory, I said this is on the record, every record, honestly. My favorite part of the theory is when you said it doesn't matter if Ange is in the chapter or not. I'm going to make a theory about it.
It doesn't matter if Ange is in the chapter or not. She's getting slandered today. I remember saying that.
That was my favorite part.
That's a good quote. It's a good quote.
Did you hold? I don't even know. Did you hold true to that?
No, I couldn't. I was too busy. I wasn't able to make it. I wanted to make an Ange video every week ever since we met her, but I got kind of lazy, I'll admit. Yeah, I have so many thumbnails made though. Like what I did was I went around to like anime characters who were bad and I just put Ange's face on it.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the theory. You hit gold. You hit the gold stride with it, bro. You said even when she's not here, she's here. Like that, I am bringing her into existence.
Just watch, man. Like the theory. So for those of you guys who don't know the Ange theory by this point, the whole crux of the theory is that she's based on Angrboda. So it was either Angrboda or Angel, because I thought that's what Ange would stand for, either Angrboda or Angel. To fit like the Celestial Dragon God theme. And my thing was that, so I will admit Par might have helped a little bit with this part, but I don't remember it, so you guys tell me. But it was about Ange being a potential Loki sister, half-sister, kind of like a Harden, right? Harden, Loki, half-brothers. I thought Ange was going to be a half-sister, or just like a full-on sister to Loki that they don't know about, because King Harold's over here spreading his seed. And I was like, okay, like the God Knights that came here for Loki, the Prince of Elbaf, the future King of Elbaf, maybe. And I was like, maybe they want Ange instead, because Ange has that royal blood in her, and that underneath her hat she has those horns, or she tore off the horns, and yeah, she's gonna join, kind of like how York is joining. That's the whole theory.
I wouldn't say I helped you with that theory. No, and the same thing with the Ange theory in general. Like earlier I said I suspected her, but like there's a difference between suspecting her and then crafting this theory, right? Like I had a weird feeling, but I didn't go as far as you did. And with the half sister thing, it was back with like it was before. And the only reason why I bring it up is because when I said it, you said, "Nah, that's dumb." And then the next week you were like, "Wait a second, wait a second."
Nothing you say to me is ever dumb. That's I love that part.
You literally,
it's just like how I agree with you with 1010.
No.
I said 1010 was goated, but you hate 1010, so I mean that's
this is one of those things where you went. Hold on, you went.
What are you grabbing?
You went. I said like, oh, what if like like because we were talking about Loki and higher than half thing or whatever, and I was like, yo, what if Ange was like a half sibling too, blah 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 blah, and then you're like, haha, Par, there's that one of the Par visions, and you're just like, he did none of those things, and then the next week you're like, oh man, this is a great theory I made. Like,
Okay, to be fair, I think that you weren't putting enough sauce on it. That's why.
yeah, I agree. I
had to commandeer it.
That's why I'm saying I didn't help you.
Like
with
a guy that
like
put hot sauce on it.
You saying Ange being half sibling, completely original for your thing. My only problem was when I said it, you said it was dumb. And I was like, wait, you can't say that and then it being a part of the theory.
To be fair, I feel like everyone would say it's dumb too.
No, that's fair. I just thought that was funny. That like the something you're like, oh, this
it's dumb until that until I talk about it.
yeah. No, but that no, like, but like fair. Like as far as like, you know, because that happens a lot where it's like, no, like even if I said like it's suspected and I had the idea, the died theory is completely you know, I didn't help with that one. That was, and like again, I still remember when you went through all of it, went to the Anger Boda thing, and that was the lock and key. And that, you know, coming back to again this chapter, it's like it's not even like you struck gold, like no, like literally, like, you know, hell doesn't, it's like a weird one. Hell's like probably, you know, that's a hard one to like, I don't know, put into in the scope of this, but like mother of monsters, the monsters are here and she's like largely associated with them. It's that part of the theory is feeling really, really strong, but I just don't know what to do with it. You know, is Oda the madman who did all of that just to for it to be a red herring and like Ange is actually just normal? Or was it actually like Oda was thematically tying Ange to all of this and giving her the association, making her like the greatest mastermind of all time? Like I don't even, but and then the thing is like, again, like how is she coordinating with the Holy Knights? Is she already a Holy Knight? Like what's the scope of it? Is she just Aizen of Elbaf? Like what is Ange? You know what I mean? There's it's like polar opposites. Either she's this mastermind menace of Elbaf, or she's just a normal person, and we're just associated with the
We don't know, man. That's the craziest thing. We don't know.
Yeah, there's like no in between either, right? Like she's either the most cracked warrior, or she's like completely just a thumb,
innocent.
Like, just can't do anything.
Just an innocent
like,
woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love the Ange theory. I mean, hopefully it gets more legs to stand on. Like I said, I want to believe it, but this chapter isn't enough to make me say it's 100% a thing. But maybe.
How about this? If she were evil, right?
Yeah.
Would she self-report?
You gotta imagine, like, people like to gloat. But also, you brought up something earlier that I wanted to like, not push back, but to re-look at, to reinvestigate. But you said, and I agree with this 100%, by the way, but we were looking at the kids falling asleep and we said, yeah, like, how are they doing this? Like, there's nothing showing this, right? But if you go to the panel where the kids are falling asleep, notice that Ange is actually holding the children. Ange is actually holding onto the children in that panel. Like, she's the one who first ran to them and did it. Yeah. So, like, I don't think Ange is the one putting them to sleep. Obviously, I think that's killing him still, or Sommers. But at the same time, it's like, wait a minute, like, Ange is right there. I don't know. Like, yeah, like, there's no sound, there's no smell, there's no bad villain here. But Ange is in that panel where the kids fall asleep, so it's like,
But she couldn't have been with Wolf when those kids were falling asleep. Because imagine what, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that would be nuts, right? Yeah, that would be nuts.
Yeah. And then Wolf not mentioning, like, why didn't you say anything, Ange? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you were there too. And, you know, like,
yeah.
It'd be another thing if Ange, like, 100% if Ange said some shit like, I'll take Mr. Wolf to the infirmary, you know what I mean? Then it's like, oh, she's guilty, bro. She's trying to silence the, like that would be awesome also for like the Roto parallel, because it's like Roto was wrongfully suspected, bringing the injured to the doctors and then not wanting that like them to be investigated. And he was innocent, but he was also like trying to cover something else, right? That would be so funny if Oda like does something like that with Ange. But like, and then there also the reason why I was asking the other thing about like, would you self-report? It's like Oda shows like that conflicted face that she has, like,
yeah,
and it's like I'm wondering if she thinks that she's to blame here. You know what I mean? Because like the monsters that she told the kids to draw coming to life, maybe she's thinking that she's at fault. And that's what that face is before she goes, these are the nightmares, and he goes, that's crazy. That face, maybe that's like a self-reflective face. And like maybe that is the innocence here, right? Like this is wrong place, wrong time. She's with the kids. The kids are passing out. Hey, Ange, what are you doing next to them? Didn't Mr. Wolf say don't touch the kids? Like, no, I'm just joking, but like, it is interesting. You're right about that. The children, don't touch them.
What if Ange is actually good right now, but she turns evil because she really enjoys what's happening?
That's
like imagine
craziest.
we like learn her lineage, King Harold's abandoned stepdaughter, half daughter, whatever, and she's like, wait, maybe this is my time to shine. Maybe the God Knights do need me for once.
That sounds like the Psy vision. Ooh.
Hey, it's gonna happen. Just watch.
No, Colin, going back to what you said, looking at that punch, she's with them and they are asleep. And when do the sleeping kids become a threat? Because Mr. Wolf just said, don't touch the kids.
That is true. Don't touch the kids, and she's touching the kids. Also, wait, Ange is the one who turns everybody around and says the kids are passing out.
Yeah, she's the one.
Wait. Nobody was looking her direction. She says the kids are passing out. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they were looking out onto the awning. She's with the kids. And then the other weird part is, again, Mr. Wolf just said, don't touch the kids. And it's one thing if the kids are like awake and whatever, sure. But the kids are asleep. So at one point, do the kids become a threat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, is it when they start sleepwalking? Was it Gunko's arrow, right? Like, and when does Gunko's arrow come into play? You know what I mean? When does the arrow start guiding them down? But the part that is suspect is she's doing the exact thing that Mr. Wolf said not to do to the state of the kids, where you'd assume that would be a threat. Because like people were like, you remember you were bringing up Sommers and you said like, oh, in the world where he's attributed to this, and it's like the rose thing, and maybe touching the kids sparked some kind of like thorny, like retribution, like recoil thing, and that's what happened to Mr. Wolf. In that world, what Ange is doing right here would trigger it, no? And even in not that world, why is she doing the exact thing that Mr. Wolf said not to do? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that is a little suspect. We have the page before, don't touch the kids. Kids are asleep. She's touching the kids. All of them are looking away. None of them are touching the kids. They all listened. She did not listen. So that's interesting.
And nothing happened to her.
Yeah. So that is an interesting thing to like. I mean, and that is the panel. Video us talking aside. That would be this is probably the panel to analyze the most, because there's something here. Either Oda put something here, whether it's a clue to how the kids are asleep or something. And Ange in this panel, more so than the nightmare part, this panel now I'm
sus, right? I like how we're going through like the stages of grief, which I think is good. Because, like, you
Yeah.
know, obviously I have a bias against Ange, so that's why I came into this very skeptical. It's like, okay, like, I got to tiptoe, right? It's one thing to joke,
Yeah.
but now that we're taking the theory seriously, like, we actually have to, like, talk about this for reals. So it's like, yeah, like, I'm leaning towards Ange still being bad now. Like, I'm swaying myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's crazy.
If there was a reason to suspect her, it's not the prompt, it's not the title, it's this panel right here. That one.
Yeah.
This is weird. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
very
she
weird.
turns us around and says the kids are falling asleep. Like we don't know how they're doing it. Like I said, I still think it's Sommer's doing it, but at the same time, it's like, Killingham. But the fact that she touches the kids and she's the one who alerts us, and we have no inclination about how it's happening. It's like, maybe it's not the boogeyman. Maybe it's just Ange with the help of Killingham. I guess, okay,
Yeah.
but Killingham definitely is doing something, right? Because he says good work. What if Ange puts them to sleep and then Killingham brings out the nightmares? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And that was another thing. Actually, that's another great point, which is the whole drawing connection, right?
Yeah.
I remember because like the mural, I remember like, oh yeah, you know, when I was reacting, I'm like, oh, are these like the drawings come to life? But the drawings coming to life makes not really that much sense to me, because it's not like the drawings are life-sized. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. If can he just expand the drawings to whatever size he wants? You know what I mean? Because then it's kind of wild. We see these on the horizon, these giant ass monsters, and those can't be just like drawing, like Doodle Bob from SpongeBob, just straight up coming to life. And in that world, like, if there's no size requirement, that's one thing. Then it's just cracked, because then you could just draw like a tiny thing, you know, like it'd be like Conjuro drawing like a tiny dragon, and then it becomes like the size of Kaido. Like, sure, a power can do that, that's fine, but we don't necessarily know. But right now I'm more leaning towards maybe it is just because they're asleep, their imagination is coming to life, and their imagination are these giant monstrosities. And it's literally just like it might be again, this, I think this is a I didn't have time to review it, a Teen Titan reference, but like it was like the more, and some people might not get it, but there's a character who feared their dad, and in their brain, the amount of fear they gave them more power, the size of them, and so the less the fear, the more the fear got diffused, the smaller and weaker they got. And it might be that that's how the size of these monsters are. The more fear that the kids have for these things, the larger than life they become, right? And it's, so it might be that like, you know, that the kids need to be, I don't know, like goaded into like coaxing their fears for these monsters to go away. So, you know, and so maybe Killingham, you know, would be involved at that side, and Ange is on the sleeping side. But and then on the other side of that though is like what, like, we don't know this, not the scope, but like the procedural of their plan, right? We know that they put them to sleep, guide them to the thing, and then monsters are involved somehow. But like, you know what I mean? It's kind of interesting, because are the monsters necessary?
I'd say so.
Because
just all the adults.
If their plan was to put the kids to sleep, and touching the kids like gives them divine retribution, right? It's kind of interesting, because it's like, like the monsters part is kind of overkill. Like, it's kind of like,
yeah,
damn,
I mean, you don't want them to win. Like, come on.
But and the reason why I was saying that too is also because, like, do you think that Killingham, or okay, not Killingham, but like whoever is bringing the monsters to life, if it's nightmare related, do they need to be put to sleep, or can they be brought to life even when they're awake?
We don't know that. And then we also don't know if, like, if you wake the kids up who are having these nightmares, do the monsters go away, right?
Right. So, and that's why this situation, Oda, like, kind of made it really hard. Again, like, people could be confident one way or the other, but that's a huge discrepancy, right? Because if you have a power to bring your nightmares to life, that the contingency isn't that you have to be asleep. And like you said, it could be that when they wake up, they still have to fight the monsters, right? And that would make a lot of sense too, right? It would be kind of interesting if Oda made their powers that synergistic that like one person puts them to sleep and then the other person brings their nightmares to life, meaning that the person who brings their nightmares to life has to have a way to put them to sleep, and it like that would mean that they're like a duo Q, you know what I mean? Like like a Batman Robin type of situation. Well, not Batman Robin, like more like Batman Joker type of situation, where it's like they both kind of work in tandem in ways, running Gotham. But but yeah, so like that's why it's like, if it's nightmares coming to life, maybe the sleeping part is separate, and it's just the sleeping part is necessary for the kidnapping part, and the nightmare thing is separate in the sense that like he doesn't need them to be asleep for that. You know what I mean? So damn, Ange, where does Ange fit? So weird. So weird. Oh man.
Yeah. So
if she's innocent, she's doing a terrible job of being normal, dude.
So as far as the monsters go, like which one are you like excited to see more of? Like we got a lot here. We got like obviously we have a giant dragon, Fenrir, evil Loki, evil Nika. We have an octopus in the back. We have a lightning cloud. We got Big Mom on the left. Like,
yeah.
What are you excited to fight? And also, how strong do you think these guys are? We saw Jormungandr go down in a single hit after Saul and Keba like teamed up, but
yeah,
Jormungandr could just be like weak because it's small, right? Like Jormungandr was the size of like maybe 3 giants standing on top of each other. But as far as these monsters go, like they're towering over trees. Not Dory Brogy, but like Keba, Saul, and Ange, they look like peanuts compared to these guys, and they're giants. So like, how strong do you think these monsters will like actually be at the end of the day?
Why is Ange in the middle? I just realized she's in the center.
I do not know. She's getting a lot of focus for a side character, huh?
I need her to sit in the corner, bro.
Dude, Blade and Wolf got like 2 panels, bro. And he's getting a lot.
I'm not gonna lie now. If I turn around and all the kids are passing on, the only person there was Ange, I might put her in timeout. I might just like, all right.
Something weird is going on. And then she says that she's the one that did the nightmares too.
Yeah, you prompted the nightmares and the kids kind of passed around you. All right. I'm not saying you did it. I'm just saying like you need to sit this one out. You need to be on watch. Like this, now you're just trying to stay in front and center taking this double spread. That's crazy. But as far as the giant monsters go, easily obviously Nika and Loki for me, because the 2 things that I want to ascertain is,
do they have the real abilities?
Yeah, and for the Loki part, it's the weapon. I want to know if the weapon has the real
thing. Yeah, because if the fake Loki has Ragnir, Elbaf is cooked.
Yeah. And then if the Nika thing is rubbery at minimum, it might not have Gear 5 powers because they don't know. They didn't really understand what sun god Nika was or is, or if he's a laughing god or a god of destruction. But they know that he's a rubbery body. That's part of the lore. So if he has the rubber attribute, that's insane. And yeah, that's why I'm looking for those 2, because there's a world where, it's the same thing with the devil fruits. They carry the mythos. They're the mythical monsters. So like if they carry the mythos along with mythos, here would be the nightmare stories associated with the kids, and that would honestly be really interesting too, because like it could be okay if Nika here is the strongest one, then the weaknesses come from the kid, not from like
not from reality.
Like Luffy's weak to slashes, but in the kid's world, no, this Nika is indestructible, but he's actually weak to pie. You know what I mean? Like in that kid's weird world.
Or his mom checks the closet and the monster goes away.
Yeah, like that kid just has a weird understanding. Oh, he's rubber? That means his weakness is pencils. Oh my god! You know what I mean? Like it's just some weird
like how do these guys work?
And that's like, you know what I mean? Like the mom, the guy who fears the mom, then the weakness of the mom is the dad. And like all it
the dad that beats the mom. Yeah.
yeah. That's terrible.
It's terrible, so but it's like lore accurate.
Yeah, like we just see like the mom starts quaking in fear from random like, and it'd be honestly hilarious if the dad is like the scrawniest giant we see, and the mom nightmare just just starts freaking out. You know what I mean? Like or like in a funnier way. You know what I mean? Like it's like the school bell is the mom's a weakness because that means the kids are coming home, and the mom's like, no, not the kids. You know
Please,
what I mean?
anything
Like,
but them. Yeah.
yeah, not yeah. This is my day off. You know what I mean? Not a half day. Like just some funny, some crazy funny thing like that. Like that. That's I feel like a lot of the focus of the thing is obviously dissecting whose powers and all that stuff. But that I like the premise that we have here because it opens the door for Oda to be really silly with these monsters. Because at the end of the day, I asked you this. I said, do you think that all of Elbaf combined can they fight these monsters? And you said, yeah, like I think that it would be like, it'd be interesting and they could probably take it all, right? And I was on the boat that was like, no, I think that these monsters are cracked. I think that like they don't, not that they don't stand a chance, but it would be like a losing battle. Like, and you brought up the point too. We don't know. Maybe they regenerate, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that would be really interesting for the Gorosei. I'm not gonna lie. If they can regenerate and it looks like the Gorosei, we gotta put a pin on that one. But putting a pin on that one and moving on is that if, in a world where they are the manifestations of these kids' nightmares and the kids have like weaknesses inbuilt on their own thing, it might be that they are fighting a losing battle and there's a hack. And like the hack is talk to the kids, figure out what their nightmares are, and try to figure out what the weakness of the monster is. And it's gonna be some silly stupid thing like Loki's afraid of Lola or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you say the word Lola and then the Loki goes to his knees crying. You know what I mean? Like it might be that that's the weakness here. It's gonna be like that would be a really interesting way for Oda to do that. And I put a pin on that because that would play a role with the Gorosei, right? Because it's like the regeneration power. That's the losing battle. How do you beat the Gorosei? Even Luffy couldn't figure out how to beat the Gorosei either, right? Only Imu obviously hurt a Gorosei by just
Actually
instantly
killing him.
But if in a world, and I don't think I'm alone on this. When we got this double spread, I got the Gorosei double spread vibes, where it's like the really cartoonish monsters towering over the characters in the foreground, and it might be that like the thing that the Giants had never seen before in the Gorosei, they're going to experience yet again here, and would be one of the moments where the Straw Hats are like, wait a second. This is kind of like the Gorosei. They kept on regenerating, and we couldn't hurt them. And there were like these ghoulish looking monsters. Maybe they were nightmares reincarnated, and they also have like story fictional weaknesses. And the Straw Hats just had to figure out where their mythos comes from and what their weaknesses are. Which that would be an awesome thing to like, I don't know about like the Gyuki and like all those things. Maybe there's like a story. I mean, there is a explanation of what their weaknesses are or how they were defeated, but it might be that that's what needs to be done. It's kind of like Hercules, I think. Like in Hercules, when he went through like the 12 labors, when he like fought the Hydra, like there was always like Medusa. I think that's Perseus.
Yeah.
When he fought Medusa, it was like, he had to like play around like, oh, I can't look at the monster.
Gotta use the
do a
mirrors.
reflection. Yeah, like it's like quirky things like that in defeating these things. It might have to do stuff like that here. It's like not the best analogy. Can't think of one off the top of my head, but at least that's my majority thinking of where I'm at with what these monsters are and what we're going to expect and how afraid and what to expect from them, what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, all around dope though. Like this chapter is so cool.
I agree. And the craziest part too with the God Knights is that, I mean, we talked about it earlier, but they're literally chilling, dude. Like they were able to make kids fall asleep, lead them over to ships, and create giant nightmares that all fight independently And these guys aren't even breaking a sweat. They're hanging out. Sommers is sitting on a chair. They're overlooking the view. It's like it's a pinnacle of power, man. Like these guys, they're not exactly who's who.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Caesar and Doflamingo had to run a whole like cross island operation. These guys, they would wished this is like a moment. Doflamingo wishes he was the Holy Knight, bro.
Dude, Doflamingo's a Holy Knight would be so good. Imagine he just drops the birdcage right here too. Oh, Doflamingo would be so awesome here.
Oh yeah,
missed opportunity. Honestly, yeah. He could make a game out of this
with these monsters. Oh my god.
I mean, Doflamingo controlling people with strings, right? Like that would be crazy too.
Yeah, like, wait a second. Doflamingo is the most Holy Knight coded. I mean, that was already given.
Yeah, it's a big thing, right? Like, if Doflamingo was still a celestial dragon, well, I mean, he is, but like, if he was still like an official celestial dragon, like in the Holy Land, he'd probably be a Holy Knight for sure.
Yeah, and he shows up, like Gunko summons him. Shamrock is drooling, dude. He's like, "Ooh, with you, we can do a whole lot of games."
Yeah, and all the games we can play with Doflamingo.
Doflamingo's like, have you seen Dressrosa arc? I got games, brother. I put bounties on these guys. You know what I mean? Like 5 stars, 4 stars. I got money too. You know, Doflamingo. You know, at that rate,
like I really think that if I was a celestial dragon back in the day, I'd probably plead young Doflamingo's case. Be like, guys, can we just bring him on? Like, what are we doing,
got games. That guy got games. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like imagine the thing is like Doflamingo would have been the greatest great cleansing host, right? He literally was. They missed out on Doflamingo 100,000%. If they had seen the Dressrosa arc, they would have been like, "Hey, special invite." Next great cleansing.
Yeah.
Hey, you want in, brother?
Imagine they announce him like on the big speakers. They're like, and the guest for this week's God Night Games, Doflamingo. And then he just comes up with the strings and everything. Like, he was made for it, bro.
Yeah, they don't say his last name. They don't say his last name because they don't want to like. They're like hailing from House Don Quixote, and then there's like, no, don't say my last name. Don't say it. No. His father was homing, and they're like, boo.
His father was homing. His uncle or cousin was Mosgard. It's like oh, what a cursed family. Yeah.
Boo, not Doflamingo. That'd be honestly. Oda could make like a spin-off, like a filler episode about this. This would be sick.
Yeah.
Damn, what was I gonna say before? Winding down with the chapter, whatever. We didn't even talk about probably the biggest part of the chapter.
Oh yeah, which we gotta talk about Loki now, right?
Yeah. We have to.
Yeah, we skipped over. Like, this is probably the worst Parcast in terms of us going chronologically.
Yeah.
We just jumped around, and I blame Par. Par is just so bad at sticking to the script. I sent Par like 50 bullet points, like, hey, this one. This is the order we're gonna go in, and Par just skipped ahead. You know, just like Par reading Chinese comics.
Sorry, I don't like listening to
skipping through the chapters, man.
I don't like listening to our contract given to by our overlords, you know, our MCMs.
Our editing overlords. Yeah. It's so funny. That's fine. You know, one Parcast out of all of them went awry. Par's reading Chinese comics. That's just how it is. What's up?
You looked off camera as if there was someone like holding a gun to your head. There was like a moment you were like, yeah, you straight up.
No. Xi Jinping, please. So we go to the realm of the dead.
She get straight? What?
So we got the realm of the dead here, and Loki says, "Hey, if you care about keeping Elbaf safe, remove my last shackle." And I'm not gonna lie, dude. When I read that, I said, "Oh, Loki has a heart. Loki cares about the kids. He cares about the God Knights and stopping their tyranny." And then I realized that what he meant was, if you don't remove the shackle, I will destroy Elbaf.
Yeah.
Which he could still mean like he's gonna help the problem, right? He could still, try to fight the God Knights. I think he will. But you gotta admit, like, his negotiating strategies, they're just so effing bad, dude. Like, what do you mean he starts striking the tree? What do you mean he says, I'm gonna wipe you all out and I'm gonna set it ablaze? Like, he's the threat of Elf. Like, he's almost as much of a problem as the God Knights at this point.
He's also like not doing himself a favor because it's like,
yes,
you're threatening destroying the island by destroying the island. Why would I free you?
If you want to keep it safe, remove it, or else I will destroy it. It's like, what do you mean? Like, the craziest part, and where I kind of dial it back to, is that Loki could plead his case very well.
Yeah.
Shamrock, red-haired brother, Gunko, they want to subjugate it. He heard that part. He heard they want to subjugate. When they talked about kidnapping the kids, they were already flying off, so I don't think he heard that, but maybe, by somehow he has like big ears or something, or observation out the wazoo. But like, he could literally just say, hey guys, don't worry about me, God Knights, Celestial Dragons. But nope, he goes straight to hitting the tree, which is like, okay, fair enough.
This is literally the exact opposite of what I was like, as a option of what Loki could do, as like, oh, he could be a smooth talker. Oh, he could like, maybe like, he has a lot of ammo here to get himself like out of this situation without a full-on fight. Because the main thing was like, trying to instigate a full-on fight here is insane, because like, regardless, Loki gets a W. Even win or lose, he's like, him putting up a fight while chained, while injured against the sun god is insane. And now that's all out the window. No, he's instigating a fight, and he's not doing himself any favors. Like, the whole like manipulating, like trying to gaslight, trying to whatever, trying to trick, trying to.
He's not really Luffy. A trickster. It's just a brutalizer.
Like whatever Hiredin said before, I'm like, nah, you were just dumb, bro. Like, nah, this straight, like, this is the situation where it's like it's a hostage situation. Like, don't come any closer, I'm gonna kill the hostages. And as they say that, they shoot a hostage. Because then you can't trust them anyways. It's like, okay, so if I listen, I listened to you and you shot them anyway. So why would I listen to you? If I free you, you're just gonna kill them anyways, right?
He didn't give them any time to respond either. Like, they're still like, wait, what is going on with this guy? And then he just hits the tree. It's like, whoa, Loki.
Yeah, no, that's literally the hostage. It's like, free me or I'm gonna shoot the hostage. Pow! And it's like, you didn't give us a little bit. How? You didn't let us say anything. Like, pay the ransom or I'm gonna kill your kids. And then one of the kids is dead. And it's like, bro, why would I listen to you? You already killed one. What do you mean? You know what I mean?
The thing is, maybe he can hit the tree harder. He's gonna keep on like imagine, because he's probably fast. Like, imagine he spam hits the tree. Like, what would that even look like?
Like, Hiredin's just like gives us a sigh, like, that was a soft hit. Like, he's you don't want to see when he uses it. Yeah, that was only 10% of his power. And it's also interesting too, because like the way it goes down. Like at the end of it, the Giants are at the party are finally aware of the thing, and like, was that lightning? And they kind of like talk about it now, like they're like, oh shit, lightning, fire, oh shit. And like, if I had a criminal, the worst criminal in my history, and his direct association was striking lightning and lighting fire to a thing, anytime it didn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, this is a terrible example, but like, if a plane hit a tower, there's an association I'm making. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's one. I'm like, shit. They're kind of known for that. Like, this is their thing. They're literally like, this is it. This is our, this is our September, bro. Like, and like, they're
kind of like
going.
If I walk into like a bookstore and I see like a Chinese comic, I'm like, Par would love this.
Right.
So you make that association.
I feel like there was better ones. Trying to think. Like,
sorry, I don't know why I'm so hung up on that. I'll try to drop it by next week. I will. I promise.
Yeah, I want to try and give you a filler one right now, but I can't think of one. Like, if we were going by this episode, like, Par sees a kunai and he thinks 10-10 and starts like
he starts glazing on it.
And that's not even true. I'm just saying, like, from your perspective, that would be better than the bookstore Chinese manhwa. But like these guys are like lightning, fire, and like, I get it. Loki's chained up. He's a fear of the past, but like, if like at a certain point you gotta be like, was it Loki? And then also the size of it, I don't know. And then like,
I mean, maybe it's just bad luck. I mean, you gotta imagine Elbaf still has rain.
There's
and
no
thunder.
storms. There's no
like
storms.
Surely, no. There's definitely been storms in the past like 6 years. So maybe they see the lightning.
Right
like,
now, right now, a lightning so strong that it lights their tree on fire. No. Huh? That's crazy. It's clear.
They're drunk. They're drinking. Par, leave them alone, dude. They
I
don't
hate
know.
alcohol. Fuck. I'll be honest. That you're right. They're drinking. For me, it's hard for me to give that a pass because it sucks, bro. To give them to like they're so oblivious to everything, and we just have to oh they're drinking. Fuck, man.
It'd be like that sometimes, bro. Like they don't know. Like what if they're like, oh, it's been raining this entire time? Like what if that's what they say?
Like, from my frame of reference, they have multiple apocalyptic situations going on, and the pass you have to give them is their drinking. It's like it's not just lightning is burning down their tree. They're being invaded by the world government, and the castle got like nuked by a giant black lightning. Not even just normal lightning. And it was observable. We know Scopper observed it
with hockey. Not fair.
The Giants have hockey. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but they don't have hockey like Scopper. I mean, Luffy didn't sense it. Sanji didn't sense it. Zoro didn't sense it.
All right.
Exactly.
All right,
see,
that's fair. Scott, but you know that. All right.
What are you trying to say? The Giants all have better hockey than Luffy?
Okay. All right. You know what? You're right there. But you know what? What else is there? They're being currently sieged by giant mythical monsters that dwarf the skyline. I don't know where in God's green earth this school
They
is.
came in at the very end of the chapter. Par. These giant monsters weren't here a minute ago.
Jormungandr was there, but also
Jormungandr was small. You said Jormungandr was small.
Yeah, no, hold on. But Keba was like, "Hey, Saul, open your eyes and look at back there. This is why we're like." Saul's like, "What? Sound the alarm? What do you mean?" And then it's like, "Hey, bro, look up there." You're telling me all of Elbaf, bro, is just in this room drinking, and none of them can look in the sky, see that the sky is clear.
Okay, but when you're drinking, do you look up at the sky for giant monsters? You don't, dude.
No, because I don't drink, bro. Actually, I mean, when in the occasions I do, yeah, I do look in the sky.
Why?
Bro.
You got to be looking at the bottom of the barrel, dude. What are you talking about?
And that's what I can't get behind it, bro. I'm an optimist. I look up, bro. I don't need depressants.
I only look down.
Further down. I got that normally, bro.
See, here's the thing. Yeah, you got nerfed by cancer, bro. That's crazy, huh? Yeah. But here's the thing, too, right? Before we go on to Loki, it's also funny how you mentioned it too. Like they're like, "Hey, sound the alarms! The kids are passing out monsters." And then Saul's like, "Don't worry about it." Like I love how at first he was like, no, the alarms just too much. It's a little bit too extreme." And then the thing is that even though Saul said that, you had one guy that just blew it anyways. He said, "F it, dude." Saul does not know what he's talking about. I gotta blow this horn, man. Like this is an emergency.
Crazy. Yeah, no. You know why Saul said that though?
Why?
It's everyday occurrence in the Navy. The Navy sanctioned the shit. Saul's looking at it like kidnap kids. That's not a big deal. What do you mean? We turn a blind eye to that all the time. You guys haven't been to the reverie
before, then, huh?
Yeah, let me tell you about O'Hara real quick. There was a guy and a ship, and we didn't sound any alarms for that one. We were the alarm, actually.
Oh my god!
The Saul's thinking that the alarm is the buster. That's why he's like buster call. You guys want to call a buster call? That's what he's associating with the alarm.
It's
like that's probably
cool.
what Saul's associating with it. He's like getting PTSD. He's like, "Oh no, I have to get my call to actions here," you know? Oh god.
People are saying that I mean this is a true, not people are saying, but like the whole thing with Ragnarok, right? Ragnarok is triggered by the sound of a horn. They're like, "Oh, this is it. This is it. Elbaf is going down."
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it, dude.
And it's even sadder because the Giants are misconstruing the alarm. Like and We can go back to the drinking panel, bro. They're talking. I heard a horn blare too. Like they're saying it as if it was in past tense. They're not like, oh shit, we should maybe stop what we're doing. A horn that is supposed to warn us for danger is playing. He said I heard it in the past and I didn't bring it up. You know what I mean? Like I didn't mean that.
But okay, think about this. If you're drunk, sometimes you just hear a horn.
Yeah, but okay, so I brought this up too. Okay, they need to have different horns, right? You can't, like, they're assigning the Amber Alert horn, right? And they're associating with the fire. In no world, even in ours, a fire alarm and an Amber Alert. That's separate.
Wait. To be fair, to give credit to the Giants, they don't explicitly mix it up or mix them together.
Okay.
They say, hey, a fire broke out in the south. And then somebody says, I heard a horn earlier too, right?
That's true. Okay.
So like maybe they know that it's two separate events, you know? That's how I view it.
But I'm gonna
I want to give the Giants some intelligence in my fantasy story.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm gonna cosplay side here. Do you think they're smart enough to have multiple kinds of horns to separate out the kinds of dangers? Do you think
I think the giant race are smart enough to have different sounds for different events? Yeah, I think so.
So do you think that the Giants are gonna be like, oh, that was the kids are in danger horn?
No. You asked if I think they can do it, and I said yes. Do they have it? No.
Okay, yeah. And then so the next step is, do you think that they're gonna acknowledge that this horn means that the school is in danger?
Yes.
It was back the kids
yes.
The kids part separate. I think more reasonable is that the horn is from the school, right?
Yes. I think they'll make that connection. I think the Giants are intelligent enough to say, hey, you don't have to hope. It's gonna happen. I know you hate the Giants. I know you hate the Giants.
No, but but they're drinking. I hate alcohol. They're drinking. Do you think that they're
never underestimate a drunk man when it comes to beating their kids.
Okay,
that's a little too far. Whoa, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Twitch side came out for a second, but I was gonna say maybe they have like a radar. Maybe they have like a radar that alerts them to like what direction their kid's at. Like, where's my beer collector? Have you ever seen that meme?
I can't wait for them to be like, I wonder what that horn means. I wonder.
No, they're not gonna say that, bro. They're not gonna say it.
Dude, man, imagine they just gaslighted it like, oh, it's probably a false alarm. Who cares? They sound that alarm all the time.
No, there's a reason why we don't see the party, and that's because they're all on the move, Par.
You're right. They're all sprawling out in all directions. And you know what? I will say though, it's gonna be crazy to see drunk giants fight. You know what I mean? Giants who can't control their strength. Imagine they just end up fighting like
sukiyaki.
Oh. Wait, how does sukiyaki fight? Wait, this is a new. I didn't know we knew how sukiyaki fought.
We don't know actually.
Yeah. Wait, tell me more. Tell me more.
Hidden strength. That's all it is.
Yeah, like that's like a favorite trope, like the drunken fist. Like I am curious to see what drunk giants fight like. I feel like when I asked like, can the Giants beat these monsters, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not even just that. Like, it's like imagining like the epic fight, the epic battle of like thousands of giants just like raiding, charging monsters. That's so cool. And I feel like that's like the epicness that Oda wants to go towards too. And then you throw in that they're drunk and they all have the crazy weapons.
What if they just start making fun of the monsters? Like they're laughing at them, like because they're so drunk. They're like, "Oh, look at this."
Why do you always have to ruin the Giants, bro?
No. That's cool. Like imagine. Oh wait, bro.
Okay.
One of the giant kids, their nightmare is their mom, and we see the lady on the left. Imagine all the Giants are like, yeah, like this is just an everyday Sunday for us. Just start beating her up.
No, imagine the mom actually shows up. It's like, what the fuck is that?
The mom shows up. She's like, is that me? That's so funny.
What would you do? What would you do in this situation? You know this is your kid's worst nightmare, and
it's just you.
Do you I
mean, I
double
guess
down?
we gotta rely on the drunk dad to beat up the mom then. That's crazy.
No, but like after the fact, do you double down on the stereotype here and you beat the kid? Like
No, you don't want to beat the kid and make it worse. I think the best thing about the nightmares is that it's a perfect way to stall the giants, right? Because we can't just have like 5,000 giants versus 30 holy knights, right? So like I think that's why I think the nightmares are going to be like an equal force to like the entire giant race, except for like maybe one or two. I think maybe like Dory Brogy squeeze through, maybe Yarul, Loki of course, Harden, all them. But yeah, I think it's a good stalling mechanism.
You know how the giants have like duos?
Yeah,
they're like permanently duo queued, right? Imagine we just see like an onslaught of Hakoku sovereignties just aimed at that'd be insane.
Dude, yeah. Guys, release the Hakokus. And then they just like multiple airwaves just fly through this. That's what I would do actually. Like I feel like that's so meta, right?
Yeah, like if I had giant
like don't even get close to these guys. Just shoot them.
like I would Leloucia, bro. Leloucia might just be two giants just
wait, okay. I guess this brings back like an iconic question we always ask. But would you rather a fleet of all of Elbaf using Hakoku sovereignty to destroy your island or bust your call? Which one do you think is more devastating?
Giants, bro. Even no, think about it. Like when the imagine invading Elbaf and you're kid is separate, right? Like you are actually trying to with an armada, a buster call, attack Elbaf. Yeah. They just stand at the top of like the sun realm, looking down, perched down, and just Hakoku, and just what are they supposed to do? Like we literally can the cannonballs reach that high? You know what I mean? That's not fair. If your cannons can shoot that high up, they're not cannons anymore. Like those are rocket ships, bro. Those are missiles. Those are missile launchers. But like, imagine trying to invade Elbaf and just raining down mini Leloucia laser beams, just. And it's like, what's the cooldown on that? You know, like insane. Yeah, like we saw those giant cannons. What if the giant cannons are just placements for where the giants just, Hakoku just start slamming?
And the thing is, like, you know, Kaido and Big Mom. I mean, you know, we don't want to get too meta with like a shonen series or just anime in general. But like, if I was Kaido and Big Mom up on that rooftop, I'd be like, "Hey, Kaido, Big Mom, can we just spam this attack? Like, we literally broke every bone in Zoro's body. Can we just do this like 3 more times? You know, like Zoro's not gonna block the next one, right? Like Zoro can't block the next one. Like Luffy couldn't dodge it without Zoro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, guys, let's just spam this attack. But I get that they want to fight, they want to have fun, and obviously we can't use logic like that. But it's just funny to think about like how many times the series could have ended if people just fought logically. Because it didn't wear them out. Like that was they were still had so much fight left after that.
They were laughing, I think.
Yeah,
like,
they were having fun.
Oh, good old time's sake. And then, like as if
the good old days,
like,
Kaido
trained underneath the giants for some reason and like learned that. Like in what world did they even like figured that they could do that together? You know what I mean? Like Kaido.
I think Big Mom taught Kaido, and then Kaido. You know, we have the theory that he's maybe King Harold's offspring. You know, if that is true, like, oh yeah, like he's got that giant DNA in him.
That's fine. I agree. But also, like, in what context was Big Mom like, hey, let's train this together? Like, he's like the apprentice on the Rocks crew. Big Mom is like, I'm not saying like the Zoro, but like an insanely strong person. And it's like, hey, yo, let's do this duo. That's like Zoro and like Kobe. I don't know. Like, dude, I guess that would actually be a normal thing. Probably.
Yeah, no, it's like me or you, right?
Example.
Like if I met you, Par, in real life, I'd be like, Par, let's do a duo attack.
Well, hold on. Who am I in this?
I mean, we don't have to be Big Mom or Kaido. We could just be like Dory and Brogy.
But Kaido and Big Mom were not equals. Like Kaido was like her little brother. You know what I mean? Like it was like, but little brother not in the same context as like Whitebeard and Odin, like little brother. It was like she like not condescending, but at the time it was like Kaido was like younger, right? Like at least that's how I got it.
But I mean, there's just like coworkers, right? Like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be interesting to see I want to see what training arc, like battleship bags, they went through to get to that thing. Because also the Rock's pirate crew in general wasn't known for their synergistic nature, their collaborative parlays. You know what I mean? It's not like Rocks and Whitebeard did duo attacks, or from what we know. It'd be cool if we found out contrary to that, though. Shiki and Silver Axe, doing duo attacks. That'd be kind of sick, and that would be like their leg up over the Roger pirates. Like they're just like, what is this? They work together? That's crazy. You know what I mean? That'd be so. That'd flip the script. But going back to the other part about the Kaido Big Mom situation is like they also like, I get it, like Shonen too, but they wound up. And like there was like time to dodge, there's a cast time to that attack, and
it's like one of those things like Goku versus Frieza. It only lasted 5 minutes, but it was like 50 hours in the anime.
No, I agree, and like there was setup to that thing because like Law just transferred them, and it was like too much effort, and like so Zoro had to step in. No, I get that, but I'm like you said, like using your brain in the fight, right? Like the setup that Kaido and Big Mom to like just redo that, that would have made that fight like crazy. They'd like, okay, let's tire them out. They did that, and then all they had to do was just do one more, and then they would easily take out one of them, at least one of them. After Zoro broke his bones. Because after that they had
Zoro's
to retreat.
Done.
It's not even 3 more. It's just 1 more, and then I think like they win Onigashima.
And and you got to think about it. Like if they use that Ikoku sovereignty again, let's say Law gets taken out or Kid gets taken out. That is very detrimental. Like you needed both of them to take a Big Mom. Killer, if they take out Killer with that, I mean. Would that have made? I mean, it would have made a difference because nobody would stop Hawkins.
Yeah,
but I mean, to be honest, I mean, Jinbei, like a lot of strides probably could have taken Hawkins, in my opinion. But Kid would have got nerfed heavily, right? I think Kid would have died.
Yeah, and this is okay. I'm not glazing this, but as far as using your brain, Killer was the one. That was the fight where he's just like, wait a second. So like, you're saying that the voodoo doll directly injures the other person. He's like, the captain has no arm, baby. Like that was so big brain, and it also was so not big brain on like Hawkins' part, because he had to have realized like this is one of the worst hostages I could have taken at the moment.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like I'll give the W to Killer, because I was. And
then the thing is too, I don't want to be that guy, bro. I don't want to be that guy. Like I would go down if somebody cut my arm off. But I don't think that should have been Hawkins' his finishing blow. Like he lost the arm, and then he went down, started screaming, then that was it. It's like I get it, right? Like if I lost an arm, I'd give up too. But this is an anime, brother. This is an anime, brother. You gotta stand back up.
He has the literal power that can stitch himself up too. Like you're telling me you can make like a giant mythical monster, but you can't sew a wound. You can't make a tourniquet.
That's straw. Like, no, actually that's true. Like he controls straw, so like technically he should be able to like fix that up. Straw, I don't know. Stop the blood.
He tied fate to a person from a doll, but he can't tie his arm closed.
Yeah. No. And then it's so crazy because like, obviously I think he's alive, but the way they left it off, it was really ambiguous. Like, I was the 1% man. And then he falls down. It's like, okay, wait, you just got your arm cut off. Like, are we really going to get bleed out deaths in One Piece? Like, is that what this is? Like, out of every insane survival feat we've seen, Hawkins dies due to blood loss from his arm. No,
I'm going to be honest. Okay. I'm going to give us a hypothetical.
It's sad because I liked Hawkins, bro.
If we were Drake, I'm pretty sure we bust out laughing if he actually died and he like this motherfucker behind from that. That would be. I think we
imagine being a supernova hearing that Hawkins died due to losing an arm.
Luffy would literally, you remember Odin, he like ate on that dude's grave and it was like honorable or whatever after the fact because he had like a story. No, Luffy would do that disrespectfully. Davey like busts out laughing. This guy, he like Luffy might not even know that Hawkins died. First of all, like after Onigashima.
Do we even know Hawkins? Does Luffy? Wait, has Luffy? Wait, no, he has. He met Hawkins in the beginning of Wano.
Yeah. And he was just like, wow, this guy's tough, right? Like, I think he said, like, word for word, like, this guy is tough. And then at the end of Wano, like, they give him the summary, oh, man, these are the casualties. And he's like, Hawkins, that guy was tough. How did he die? According to Chopper's autopsy, he lost an arm.
It's kind of funny because like if Killer just like used like a supersonic attack and slice him in half, or something like crazier, or like give him like a Mihawk scar, right? Like like that, then I'd be different. But like just an arm, dude, what are you talking about? And I don't know if you watched the anime episode, but like the way the voice actor for Hawkins went in, but he was guttural with it. He was like like. I remember, and then they zoom in on his face and like sweat's dripping down. Like he was like losing that arm. I mean, god damn, you might as well have killed his family, dude.
They had the benefit of by the time that came out, like Hawkins was dead in the manga, so I'm sure the animators like, oh, we gotta up the ante on this one. We gotta make it sound like he died from this.
Yeah.
One. Whereas like I think most of us we just went through that like, oh, he lost. He didn't die, he just lost. But like the anime is like, no, he lost his life. Like that's he's like
yeah, I mean it's so uncertain, right? Because it's not confirmed whether he's alive or dead yet. But I mean Drake survived, so I have a lot of faith. But at the same time,
did
it's
he
like,
though? Did Drake survive? Who's honestly
Drake is
who
alive.
came out of that fight?
We saw Drake.
No. Yeah, I know he's alive, but who came out like more respectable? Drake is still injured like months after, right? Like in full body.
Yeah, we saw Drake. He's in a hospital still, bro. We went through a whole ass arc, and Drake is still in the hospital.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Oh,
like
God.
at that point, would you rather just die the way Hawkins did, or do you want to be bedridden with wounds that like normal characters recover from in like 5 days, and then be the captain of Sword? Bedridden.
See, the thing with Drake at the bare minimum is that we could say that he survived through something that killed Izo. Because Izo got 2 Shigans and that guy was cooked.
That's true. No, but Izo was fighting all the beast pirates.
I don't want to give that any weight. I do not give Izo fighting random beast pirates off screen and he was injured any weight.
No, but all of them. No, but he was fighting all of them.
He's not fighting every... What kind of version of Onigashima was in your head? Oh yeah, remember when Izo fought 1 million people on a hill by himself? Like, what are you talking about?
That's the only way it makes sense, dude. Odin Scabbard, a Whitebeard commander, loses to... Like, he gets fatigued. There's no like Marco made way more sense. Marco bowed out of the fight after kicking ass, and he goes, "This ain't my time." That's all. Izo could have just been like,
yeah, Izo should have done that, bro. I don't know.
Oda could just broke his guns. Can we just do that? And like, shit, brother.
And
I can't.
The worst part,
I would have respected that.
The worst part.
Yeah, what?
I was just about to say he lost to. He didn't lose. It was an equal draw against Maha. And it's like, oh, like, Izo died, but he killed Maha. We don't know who the hell Maha is.
Yeah,
we don't know nothing about this guy.
At least if he lost to Joseph, we could say he lost the strongest CP0 member.
Oh my god. It's just so goofy, bro.
That whole like compartment of Wano is so like in hindsight. It's
the reason why it doesn't like make me mad. It's just like it's like more like bothersome, and we kind of make fun of it. It's because like I liked Izo. That's the thing. I liked Izo, bro.
There's no
why I like
reason
that.
for Izo.
Why I like that?
Izo died to make Marco like incrementally more sad, and it's like that wasn't needed. Like, and the way we found out that Izo like confirmed dead was we just saw his guns lying there, right?
Same with Ashura Doji. It's like, oh, like Ashura Doji took some dynamite to the chest, but I mean, we've seen Pell survive a nuclear bomb. Well, it's not nuclear, but like, Pell took a bomb the size of a clock tower to the chest. He survived. Surely Ashura Doji, someone who's way stronger, is gonna tank hockey. That. And has hockey. Ashura Doji's dead too, bro. My favorite scabbards died. What the hell is this? I feel so.
He doesn't just
it's
have
a personal
hockey.
attack.
he has like not top tier hockey, but he had like hockey enough to like for
They said
Kaido
he was like
to be
clashing with
yo.
Jack. Yeah, Kaido wanted Ashura Doji on his crew. He was that powerful.
Kaido literally let this man run a criminal organization separate from himself because he wanted him. He's just like,
Yeah, he
the
respected
mountain-
Ashura Doji's power so much he just let him run the mountains.
Yeah, when he
That's
could
crazy.
easily just drunkenly take his ass out. There's no world in my mind that Ashura was constantly escaping Kaido or clashing with Kaido to the point where Kaido was like, ah, shit, maybe tomorrow. There's no world. Kaido could have ended that today, and he did it. And so it's like Ashura was like that respected at minimum, or like none of the headliners, king, queen, like he was that much of a problem. And yet, nope. Dynamite. Dynamite
Yep.
did it. TNT. Woo!
And guess
It's
what we
that
got
easy.
at the end of Wano? I still can't. I remember that panel haunting me. Just the panel of Kinemon, Marco, and was it Kawamatsu? They were like sitting in front of the grave, and it's just Izo's guns and Ashura Doji's sword. I can't believe it, bro.
Oh god.
Uh,
oh god.
I
And they
mean-
weren't drinking. You know what's the worst part? I meme on all the giants. These guys are all sober, bro. Like there's no Papar, they
Yeah.
were drinking. Nah, these guys are just normal hooligans, bro. Just dying to like hot. Oh my god. Like you could say like, oh, Hawkins was belligerently drunk, and so like his blood was thinned out, and he bled out like so fast. Like some crazy explanation. Nope.
that is
nope.
yeah, that is crazy.
Like,
Crazy cope right
nah,
there.
Yeah. Like you can't even do that. You can't even do that. This guy is the master of fate, the seer of plot lines, and he couldn't. No, he saw his own. No, Hawkins might be. There's some. See, as much as we rag on Sukiyaki, there are characters that are like momentarily worse, but like
Hawkins came in with the
Sukiyaki's
heat at the beginning of Wano too. That's the craziest part.
Yeah. Oh man, he
Straw
did. He came up with like. Did he? No, he did pull that out. The giant monster thing. That thing was so
Yeah.
random though. That thing
I love
was
it.
so random. It just had
It's
like
such a
nails
cool. He had such a cool devil fruit, bro.
and nails for fingers. Like
Yeah,
that was.
and then it gets stronger based off of
kinda
what
cool.
Yu-Gi-Oh card he draws. Like, come on.
Yeah, where did the nails even come from? He's like a straw guy. But like the nails
Imagination,
are just,
brother.
Yeah.
We just chalk it up to imagination.
All right. Speaking of imagination,
Loki. So,
yeah.
is this the strike that will bring down the tree, or no? Because I mean, you know, he caused 2 fires, right, at the base and at the sun, in the sun realm. Like, do you think this is it, or do you think he's gonna hit the tree some more come next chapter? And also,
Well-
do you think the Straw Hats are gonna give in to his demands? I mean, we got Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and then Hard in here. Like, do you think they're gonna be like, "Oh, Loki, please don't destroy the island. We'll release your cuff." Like, in what world do they do that?
Yeah, I don't. The current progression of Loki's state doesn't. It makes less sense than what we were contemplating regarding does Loki fight, because like if he wins or like it's anything, it's like insane for him. Like he instantly, if a fight comes, I mean him standing, what he did here is like, all right, he's like breaking top 30. He's the fastest. He's a supernova. He's the fastest rising star in the One Piece series. From intro to demonstration, this guy is a monstrosity, and
Yeah.
like he's completely breaking all boundaries. But as far as like his like the lightning strike, does he do more? Whatever. Something that was interesting, it was pointed out after you left the stream. And I actually, maybe you were on stream. No, you weren't. But I completely did not notice this. It wasn't until the super chat pointed out was that his lightning strike hits the sword, the giant sword. The sword is acting like a lightning rod, and so I'm assuming it might be that lightning rod is a deterrent to whatever destruction might pursue. Like if Loki wanted to destroy the Elbaf, he can't, because that sword will constantly take the hit and redirect the lightning to a different spot. And I was like, yo, that's crazy, because it's literally exact, like you can't, in the view that we get of that lightning strike, there you don't see the sword, and that's the exact like pathway that the sword would be. And so I was like, oh my God, what the hell? That's crazy. And like, I don't even know what that would mean for the sword. Like, did someone put a giant lightning rod in the shape of a sword for just because it looks cool? Like, I don't know, but that was a very crazy observation that they had. And it makes a really interesting obstacle barrier for what Loki's like, situation is, because we don't know when that sword was there. We don't know how recent.
Yeah.
But it feels like at the moment, at least I haven't put too much thought into it. But I was like, oh wow! At the beginning, that sword felt like maybe a battle wound, some like mythical battle that we don't know about, and like it's the thing. But no, maybe it was like an intentional design or intentionally placed so that Elbaf would be protected from lightning. Maybe not fires, but lightning. Because again, they do say that their greatest weakness is lightning and fire. So what is their deterrent to the lightning and fire? Well, if they have a giant lightning rod, which that would be what that sword is, then that would make sense why, like, as far as the protective nature goes, and why Loki can't just outright destroy Elbaf. He has to do something else maybe. But yeah, I don't even know like
Huh. Yeah.
where I go with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad theory. For me, I feel like the sword could easily just be on a different side of the island and we just don't see it. Like maybe like
I
it's
think we
angled
see the
differently.
same. Like the thing is, like we see the castle and we see the thing, and I think that's the same way we saw it the first time, and then the other time was the sword, and the sword is so massive. Like we can go back though, like, but I think we got the
Yeah.
same perspective. It was 1131. Would be where
Yeah, like I
would
said,
be.
it's not a bad theory. I'm not there
Yeah.
yet because I feel like it could just be like, oh,
Yeah,
we don't see it.
it's one to like 1131, the castle, that rainbow, and then right where that lightning strike is, that's where that sword is. Um, and it like I thought the same thing too. Like I was like, wait, maybe it's on the opposite side, but like
Yeah.
it like are we
Let me
just
see.
spinning Elbaf around in a way where it's perfect at the castle and the rainbow? And the rainbow, like it wasn't really like I'm not like like saying like the rainbow's a fixed thing, but the castle, that's the one prominent thing, and we do see it. And I think even the tree branch, the one that like goes up and over, yeah, even the you see right behind the lightning, there's like a little swoop like tree branch thing. Even
Yeah.
that like kind of lines
I
up.
think for me
So
it's hard because like I feel like we would see like the hilt of the sword.
That's what I thought. But that's also where I was at, because I was like, this is the thick. I said this while you were on stream. I was like, this is the thickest lightning we've ever seen. But I was like, oh, maybe it's not the thickest light. It's just because it's being channeled through the sword. And then that would have made sense. I don't know how lightning rods. I've never seen a lightning rod be struck by lightning, but I'd imagine there's probably a flash, a moment where you can't see the lightning or. But I agree with you. The hilt would be visible, but that might be where the like the fat part is of that lightning thing at the top.
But it sticks out
Um,
really far. Yeah,
yeah, and then
no, like I said,
the
it's not a bad
the
theory, but I'm
the
not
other
there yet.
detractor for me was the fire, because if that was a
Yeah.
lightning rod and the fire frequently is frequent, it wouldn't be that much of like a surprise or difficult to handle, right? Also, as far as a lightning rod go, it'd be like the worst placed one. But again, for me, like on stream too, I was like, wait, this shit's like placed like goddamn near identical to where the sword was. So that like I'm looking at it as the sword, but I'm also looking at it as like I don't know why the sword would be there, because like it wouldn't make sense for it to be
Yeah.
intentionally there. But like that could play a role into like the Excalibur trope, like the whole thing about like there was a different lore backstory behind the sword itself. And Oda could do anything with that backstory. But and then the other part is it's like it's the different thing with Excalibur too would be like Excalibur is meant to be like wet wielded, whereas this giant sword, it's not like anyone on Elbaf could have wielded it. This sword's like so insanely big that like even in our wildest like Luffy headcanon how big he got on Onigashima, even that sword would be giant. Maybe he could hold it, but I don't know if he could pull it out, like unless it's like yeah, like the straight up Excalibur he pulls it out, whatever. But it is interesting, the placement and the purpose. And logically, you would think that if lightning were to strike Elbaf, like real lightning, not whatever holy night black lightning it is,
Yeah.
you would kind of think that the giant metal rod that's like almost as tall as the tree would be a greater conductor pathway for it than the tree itself. And that's I'm not the greatest scientist of all time, but like I think that the tree is less conductive than rod than sword. But so like even logically, I'm like, oh, that kind of does make sense. If lightning were to strike on a massive scale outside of a storm, also, I think it would go through the sword. Now, the question is, what does that mean? Why does that matter? And there's a few other thoughts that come to mind. I won't bring them up, but it is interesting because that also lends itself to like, what the hell is Loki gonna do from here? Did Loki do that knowing that it would be less harmful, even though he set a fire up top? Like what does that mean? Also, I also wondered this. Another thing, is this how Loki was an arsonist?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was just running around smacking his hammer.
Yeah,
dropping that third leg,
hitting the hammer and everything. But yeah, when it comes to Loki doing this, like it's kind of like I said, it's kind of crazy. I just don't know like how the Strats are going to handle this. Like I feel like they will fight next chapter. Like they're not going to take this threat lightly. I just realized something. If this is how Loki was an arsonist, that would mean that he had Ragnar as a kid. Yeah.
So Ragnar probably isn't the family treasure then.
I don't think it is.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Is that a theory?
Confirming. I mean, some people with Mjolnir, that was a family treasure. Family treasure. If that thing ate the devil fruit, then that would be the thing too. But we know that Loki also, obviously has the devil fruit too.
Yeah.
Because he's weakened by sea stone. It's still a question of like why they gave him the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, it could just have the same lore as Mjolnir, just like it can't leave his side or something.
Yeah, but even then,
I mean, even right now, like it's crazy because it brings down lightning, right? So it's already kind of like different.
Yeah, but it brings down because like the main thing was like take it out of your hand, right? They could have, even if it was like Mjolnir, you'd want like one step of like a barrier from like. In the case that Loki frees himself, you wouldn't want his hammer, even if it was Mjolnir. Like in Thor's situation, it's not like they just gave him Mjolnir anytime that they they were like, oh, let's just separate the two. You know what I mean? Like, let's figure out a way to chain this thing down too. That was like a thing, I'm pretty sure as well, right? Like how to like I mean, Odin had like a treasure box, but Odin was all powerful or whatever, right? But it's kind of interesting because we don't have that full lore yet with Ragnar. But it is just like, damn, they gave just like in the worst case scenario, he frees himself. They just gave him direct access to like they gave themselves no handicap to like because like imagine you're a prison guard. Imagine Loki had a prison guard, right?
Yeah.
And you are the prison guard that has to deal with a freed Loki. You can't because he has his hammer already. You gave your there's no reason to guard. There's no reason to like Hiredin literally came here within seconds of him being freed. Instantly, there's no chance. Instantly, there's absolutely zero chance that without Luffy and the Straw Hats here, zero chance that Hiredin could have done anything to stop Loki. From my perspective, even with the chain, like we just saw him, even with the chains on, he smacked the hammer so hard that it like shook the tree and brought lightning down that probably can kill everybody. I mean, kill like Hiredin or something, And it's like, what was he supposed to do? He got there right as it happened, and he couldn't do anything because they gave him the hammer. So it's like that at least from reader standpoint, it's like means something about the hammer. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I think they just maybe couldn't separate it. It's either they couldn't separate him from the hammer, or like they just fumbled really hard by leaving it here.
All right, okay, but either this and either they fumble. That's like. That's what I'm talking about. The fumbled really hard. It's crazy. Yeah.
But that's why I think there's something with the hammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it has to be something with the hammer. But like with Loki's power,
yeah.
Do you think it synergizes?
I think so.
Oh shit, that's so crazy.
And
Do you think it's
it doesn't have to be
Logia,
like a natural synergization. It could be like Luffy, right? In Gear 5th, when he picked up the axe turned white. It could be something like that.
Do you think like do you think that Oda's doing like a lore something like synergizing? I don't even know what this would be, but like maybe it's like really thematic, like how like like some characters fit the devil fruit like perfectly.
Yeah.
Do you think the Odas did that with Loki, or like a perfect package, like insane cracked, like mythological? We can like read this Norse mythology and see it exactly
Um,
1-to-1.
Not 1-to-1. I don't think it's ever really like super 1-to-1. Like, I mean, the Kiden, right? Like we're talking about like how it has this extra power of sleep, right? I think whatever power Loki has, yeah, sure, it could be based on mythology, but I think it will do like it will shape and mold itself to like Loki's personality and like how he already fights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I see
I'm
it.
with you. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Loki like doing all this, I feel like a fight is inevitable. I don't think there's any room for like negotiation anymore. Now that we're at this point, which now brings me to like something we talked about, I think 2 weeks ago, when we had the Scopper chapter. I had a theory that maybe Mosa was in that tower that fell down to the underworld. Doesn't have to be the case now, but I still think that is the case. But I think that Mosa might be like the main person that can show up here and like really break this up.
Oh,
because like right
calm
now,
down,
like,
Loki.
Yeah, like because there's no way we just fight Loki and knock him unconscious. There's no way Loki beats us, right? Like I can't imagine we're like, hey Loki, you can have like the key. Like there's no world where Luffy would do that.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something like somebody breaks this up. And Scopper, of course, is probably like up in the Sun World going after the God Knights, right? Like Scopper is on his own mission, so he can't come down here. So I think we will see Mosa pretty soon.
Do you think Mosa's powerful?
No.
Do you think that
I think Mosa's really weak.
Do you think Loki only respects power though? Like a warrior? Like warriors respected battle prowess and fighting ability.
I think Loki respects battle prowess, but I think there's certain characters that will definitely like get not under his skin, but like that he respects regardless. Like Lola's a great example.
Yeah.
So like if Lola was here, like Loki would bend the knee immediately. Like he wouldn't fight.
Okay. So like Mosa, we don't know boy, girl, right?
We do not know boy, girl, no.
Do you think that the possibility of like Loki, not weak spot, but like if they're not powerful, how do they talk him down, right? Like what kind of power do they have? And is it just friendship or is it relationship?
Friendship, relationship, backstory.
Does Mosa have some kind of ability? Maybe it doesn't need to be a powerful ability. Maybe there's some kind of other thing. Maybe there's another world where it's not even Mosa talks him down. Mosa just teleports him, maybe. Like Mosa just transports. Like there's a transportation. Swoops in, picks up Loki. I don't know, something like that. Maybe Mosa. Oh no, but he's out to free his leg, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be teleported out of here.
I
think that Mosa will talk sense into everybody.
Does Loki need legs?
Will he cut him off like Shiki? Yeah, I think he needs it.
Do you think that but Loki's the type of dude who would cut off his legs if he needed to?
Yeah,
right?
if he had to, he'd cut off his legs, but I don't think he will.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that'd be cracked.
I think Mosa will break this all up. I think that's kind of like what I'm putting stocks into, because like I think like like I said, I don't think they can take each other out. Like we need our guys here on the battlefront, all of them, even Loki.
No, yeah, I like the Mosa point. That's a good one, because it's like if there was a point in where that character would be relevant, this would be a good time.
Yeah, and now the last thing we got to talk about, and then we'll end it off, is where do you think the Straw Hats at the party will go? What do you think about Usopp and his involvement, Nami, Jinbei, Brook even? Because like I think that's a pretty big one in a weird way. Like, because like, do they all go to the school, or do some of them come down here to Loki and help put out the fire? Because I could see Jinbei being put on fire duty, which kind of sucks. But Jinbei could be on fire duty. I think Nami might rush to the school and save the kids because that's like her thing. And then she'll run into like the evil Zeus and evil Big Mom, which is kind of fun. You know, like a little callback to that. I think Usopp also going to the kids and being a brave warrior and facing his nightmares. If it does affect adults, interesting as well. And then maybe Brook plays his I don't know. Brook is a weird one. Maybe he plays his violin or guitar and he wakes the kids up.
Yeah,
like the Pied Piper. Like there we go. You know, put on our side.
He could play like soul music or whatever, try to wake them up, try something. If he could put them to sleep, maybe he wakes them up. I like that. No, I think everything you said probably lines up. I think like the question becomes if they can discern that the horn is from the school, then yeah, I think that they're gonna go to the school because the Straw Hats are there. So like Nami minimum is like kids, school, other Straw Hats, we're going that way. But if they don't know that the horn's that, then the only way would be those monsters. But then the question, we don't know the scope of the monsters because we don't necessarily have a great lay of the land in the scope of where Walrus Academy is in relative to the party, and like is what they're seeing on the horizon something that's because like we have to acknowledge that the monsters are so big, and I don't know if this is Oda. I mean, like you're right in the sense of like the monsters show up at the very end, like as appearing over the treetops, and we don't know how big they are in the scope of Elbaf, right? Because Elbaf is still just massive. Like those trees that they're standing over could just be a subsection. Like we don't really necessarily get an understanding of like how big / how expansive, you know, this area is Walrus Academy like even on the same side of the tree? Because it could be that they're on opposite sides of the tree. I don't remember if we got a map like that. And so like what they see on the horizon out towards like the ocean side would be like it's not something that they could see because the tree's blocking it, right? Like that could be reality. So, and if that's the case, then it could be that they're on fire duty, which, you know, as far as characters go for fire duty, Nami and Jinbei are pretty great. Nami could also help with Zeus. Yeah. But also if the lightning is a continuous problem, maybe Nami tries to like have Zeus eat up the lightning to prevent more things. And then they're like, oh, she is our sun god. You know, it's like some crazy, like, you know, kind of like what they did with Mother Caramel. Like she does some supernatural thing. And irony is that that's directly associated to Mother Caramel. So she takes in like, you know, the fires, lightning, and she is like, they start revering her a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they start like, oh my god, Nami,
the second Nami, coming Tasso, of Mother Carmel.
Yeah, like they hit her with Mother Nami, whatever. She defends them. I could see that. Brook, Usopp are kind of like more interesting because like they don't really thematically fit per se with the fire or lightning. And I think you're right with Usopp more thematically fitting and going with the school because it's like showing the kids brave warrior. But the thing is, they're not even awake to see it, so like maybe that's not the play. Another question would be like, where's Colin, right? Because Colin's an interesting variable. He might be a good directive to like where some characters might go. Maybe Usopp follows Colin. It might be Colin brings Usopp along with him. And then they go to the school. It could be that they split up. Not too sure.
And there's also Ripley and Frankie who are currently at the Atom Tree. I think they're going to go back to the school though because Ripley's a teacher.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
you
the
think
most,
Ripley's
like,
the strongest teacher?
Is Ripley the strongest teacher? I would like to think so. But obviously, like, I'm basing that all off of her looks, so I mean, you know. Is that the most reliable sense of you know, power scaling? No.
I think we all what do you mean? Power scaling is all looks, bro. They make half that shit up. What are you talking about?
That's fair
like
enough.
Even Zoro literally power scaled off of King's skin color. Come on. He said
I mean it is a thing, right? Like the stronger you are, the cooler you typically look.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that's
Ripley
Oda's
cool.
Yeah, I think that's Oda's style too. I mean, Loki.
I think that's like every style of every anime known to mankind. Just like if you're a cool looking character, you're probably really strong. More so than not.
like Mike Guy. Mike Guy wasn't the coolest looking dude.
Well, it says you. Says
Next
the
to
10
Kakashi.
enjoyer.
All right, next to Kakashi. How many thirst traps were made of Mike Guy before
A
the Madara
lot.
fight?
A lot.
No,
A lot.
before the Madara fight?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Oh my god, Guy versus Kisame, dude, tier 1.
Okay. I said thirst, Mike Guy, Kakashi.
So are you saying that Bruce Lee isn't hot?
Not Kishimoto's version of it.
I'm just saying, dude. People like Mike Guy back in the day. I think you underestimate like the Mike Guy fans, and you overestimate the 10-10 fans.
No, because Mike Guy was clouded by his the power of youth, and then
People loved it.
See, the thing is, Kakashi was weird, bro. He was reading the crazy books written by Jiraiya.
He's just a gooner, dude. What do you?
Yeah, and people were thirsting over a gooner over Mike. Mike Guy's the obvious take, and by the end of the story, it makes sense. Mike Guy, crazy, bro. He's so dope. He's my guy. That's why he's Mike Guy, right? But the point is that yeah, like as far as like power scaling off of looks, I think like next time Oda does this, where there's just a character we just all community wide drool, we're like, this guy's the strongest guy in the verse.
That's how it
Because
works.
like Loki showed up and everybody was like, all right, he's him. And
Loki put the Giants back on the map alongside Ripley. Like without them, I think that people would still like be super racist against the Giants.
No, that's a you thing. But on a me thing, I'll be honest. Like I did an Ange thing where I was like, I don't know if Loki's strong yet. There's these words, like the way they're saying it, he could be a fraud. But like now I know it's just straight up looks, bro. That's like that's the best compass towards power and like expectations, because like Oda did not disappoint. And the thing is, like, if we did that with the Gorosei, right? Like what you did when we first met and you said like, oh, they're not going to be combatants at all. They can they even get up from the couch? We don't know, right? And like, yeah, you were not the most correct, because like to this day, people think that the Gorosei's regeneration power is the most cracked ability and will fight you for it. And I disagree with them, but I do think that like, if we took your logic of like, hey, let's just look at the Gorosei. They don't look that strong, right? They don't look like that guy. And then we look at how they were portrayed on Egghead, and like they were strong, but like it was also one of those things where it's like, if you or I had those powers, there wouldn't be no survivors, right?
Just like in
Right?
terms of like how we utilize it, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like that's what
I'd say the same
like,
for most people.
Oda does with the looks. Like if we did that with the Gorosei, boom, awful.
I mean,
right?
I guess we could look at Shamrock as a prime example, right?
Holy
And even
Knights. The
Garling.
Holy Knights are not going to disappoint. The Holy Knights, I think all of us looked at Sommers and Killingham and were like, all right, they're going to be insane. You know, I think it was all positive. Obviously on the same tier as Loki, but on a tier of like, yeah, these guys definitely more, I have more confidence in these, like, as far as a group of characters that was newly introduced and their power is questionable and we still don't necessarily know the scope of it, they give me better hope than the Toby Roppo.
That's such a low bar.
You're saying that Toby Roppo looked awful?
No, just like in terms of like thinking about how the Toby Roppo turned out.
I don't know, like some of them just like Black Mirror
really
never
cool,
made
though.
me. Yeah, they look cool, but they didn't look strong. You know what I mean? Like they didn't give that aura, right? Like
They
Black
felt
Maria,
like side Straw Hat fights.
yeah. Like they felt like they're up. You know what? That's what we need to start doing. We need to do appearance-based theories, just purely based off of appearance. Like they felt like at most side fight characters.
And to
That's
be
what they
fair,
look
that's like the whole crux of the Ainge theory too.
yeah. Except we're not using the Ange theory isn't in the scope of how strong she is. Sai, we're doing look based power scaling, not look based damnation and community wide witch hunt, bro. Like
Close enough.
we're not doing look based villainry. Like that's not the same thing. Because like if we did that, then like Khalifa and Alifa would be like angels, bro. Like and the funny part is we're comparing we're saying Ange is Khalifa, right? so
Well, what was her sister's name? Alpha?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
like
Alpha.
people were saying
That's
like
cool.
Par it's Alifa, and I'm like, cause it's Khalifa. And I'm like, I'd sooner say Kalfa and Alpha. Like,
I think it is Alifa, right?
yeah, I think it is, but like
Yeah.
it just got translated Alpha at first, and that's like a cool. That's a dope name. So I kind of went with that. Also rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue easier.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the Straw Hats, they're going to make their move pretty soon. Do you think Scopper will be able to stop the God Knights? Or do you think he's going to get defeated? Because it's hard to imagine a world where Scopper looks bad, but also, like, the God Knights... I mean, I'm on the boat where I can't see them losing either.
I think at least Sommers, like he has to after Sommers starts spitting at the end about love, the Minister of Love has to lay down some laws, bro. Right? Like Scopper,
Yeah.
there's like two worlds where this comes into play. One is that like Sommers is the one who put them to sleep, and Scopper follows, you know, there was an association we made to a character we know that might utilize this putting people to sleep the powers in a terrible way. And so Scopper might be like, hey, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's interesting. That's a really useful power, but why are you using it on kids? You know, like it might be Scopper is a little weird on that, but we got to know more about his philosophy of love. Is it like Absalom and others associated to Absalom? But you know, that being said, like I think Scopper at minimum is Sommers. Like I think that love line that Sommers threw out is like
It sets him up
straight
for,
up,
like, a future Scopper fight.
yeah, like a senior Pink Frankie type of ideological like battle right there. You know, who knows love more? You know,
Yeah. Do you think we're going to get, like a Rayleigh type of clash where, like, Scopper's over here, like, 1v1ing Sommers, and, like, it's an actual, like, whoa, like, this is a fight, you know, like, oh god, like we can't do this right now, we're both really strong.
it's hard because there's multiple, and like Scopper,
Yeah.
like I think the Holy Knights should be strong enough that Scopper can't take them all, but at the same time, I feel like Scopper should. No, he's older. I think like the old tax is gonna come to play where it's like Rayleigh and Blackbeard situation where he's just like, ah, I'm too, you know, whatever. And Rayleigh Kizaru situation. I mean, Kizaru's older too, but more like I think like in a world, or I think like Scopper easily 1v1s, but then they have hacked powers. You know what I mean? I feel like there's, and then they have hostages too. In a way. We talked about it how the whole point of Shamrock's thing is like take the kids hostage, hold Elbaf at ransom to use their military might. In a way, Elbaf includes Scopper. Scopper's hands are tied just as much as anybody else because those kids are personal to him too, right? Even if Colin's not there, right? Like that's he's Elbaf as well. You know, I mean, the Straw Hats would also be like, yeah, don't kill the kids too. I don't think that they would put the kids at risk, but it is weird. I don't even know where to put Scopper. We have to appearance-based power scale so many characters, and Scopper does have the Mountain Eater thing, and he's like really strong, Roger Pirate, but he's old. Can he 1v3? Probably not. Can we 1v2? I could see him 1v2ing, and like the Holy Knights being like, man, this guy's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is strong. Who is he? And he's like, I'm just Yasan. You know
And then
what I
they
mean?
look at him and they're like, hey, we have your son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right?
like don't fight us, old man. We'll kill your kid.
I think 1v3 presses him. 1v2 he might be able to do it, but 1v2 plus hostages he can't do it. If it was 1v1 plus hostages, maybe. But I think
there's too much against them.
Yeah, yeah. And now, and then let's throw out the giant mythical monsters in the background too, right? Because like, what's a bigger threat to the kids at the moment? Are the Holy Knights that are miles away, not even seemingly attached to them, or the giant mythical monsters?
I think the monsters, because the monsters aren't going to fight the kids.
The monsters aren't gonna fight. Yeah, but like from his perspective, right? He doesn't know what's happening. He just sees a giant monster sieging the thing, and he doesn't know per se about the Holy Knights.
Well, I think he knows the Holy Knights are here.
He knows they're here.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, he went to the castle because he felt like the hockey, right? So who's to say he doesn't feel the hockey from when Sommers and Killingham are summoned in, and he just goes there?
That's true. That's true.
Which would lead him straight to, like, I mean, assuming they're on the same tree branch, I think it would lead him straight here.
That's true. That's true. I forgot about the summoning part, to be honest. Scopper goes right there, fights them there. Do you think Scopper if that's the play, right?
Yeah.
Then do you think Scopper wouldn't necessarily be aware of the rest of the situation then? Like everything else that's going on? Because that's also what's really, like, I'm not saying that this is what happens.
Yeah.
But like Scopper shows up, right? Sommers, Gunko, and Killingham are there. Killingham is sleeping. Sommers, I think they're sitting in a chair, right? Yeah, Sommers is in his chair still. Gunko is overlooking. Killingham is asleep, right? And they're miles away from any action, any danger, any bad stuff. Scopper shows up there. Does he just like talk to them? Like he doesn't, like, yeah, they're Holy Knights, but does he just start fighting them? Or do they go like, or the Holy Knight's like, whoa, what are we're not doing anything. Like, I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but that's what's interesting about that, because like they are so far removed from like being accused of anything that they can't, like, at most, like, Scopper's like, this is for the guards in the castle, like, you beat them up. Like, he doesn't know anything else. It's like Pain in a Naruto fight, but at least like all of the Pains are like, I am Pain, and like running around. And like then when Naruto went there and he's like miles away, it's like, oh, this guy did all that stuff, right? But like, other than that, if you just stumbled upon Pain inside of a tree, it's just a dude inside of a tree, right? Like a fake tree.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Scopper has like crazy observation. He's smart. He's been around the block. He's fought Holy Knights in the past.
Do you think he knows?
He probably knows. I don't think he knows them. I think he knows of like their dad. Their dad. That would be
cool. I think that's my favorite timeline. He knows their dad.
Yeah.
Like, or he knows of them. Like, he knows, like, he's like, wait, you're that guy's little kid? What the hell? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's kind of how I imagine it.
Yeah, like their parents and moms are on a God Valley. You know what? That would actually be a really interesting way to get some God Valley information.
Yeah,
like,
it was always gonna be Scopper like remembering the Holy Knights, and then like, oh, like this is how we fought them then, or there was this one guy that had this name.
Like a prompt towards that would be, you know, not just the Straw Hats, like, or like, you know, separate to that, but like straight up, just them meeting up, and then like, this scar. Your face reminds me of the scar I have. Whatever. Oh yeah, his scar. It could be
like maybe the reason why Sommers has the love quirk is because his dad fought Scopper back in the past, and he's like, yeah, like there was some idiot back in God Valley who just talked about love nonstop.
Yeah, love with all races. Can you believe it? That's disgusting.
Yeah, it could be. Like I think Scopper versus the God Knights will be a lot of fun. Like the amount of lore we could get like in between that. Phenomenal.
The love is to inevitably hurt one another. What do you think about that, Sai? Do you agree?
True, yeah.
Yeah?
I agree with that.
Love always hurts?
Yeah.
How do you read that? Like, did I read that the same way you read that?
I'm assuming so, yeah. And I think that could also deal with like that. That's why I initially went to him for like maybe like if you touch the kids, like thorns pop up, or like you get damaged by Sommers' ability, because like, you know, obviously the parents love the kids, and then they touch the kids, and boom, they get hurt.
Yeah, it is interesting. Do you think that they like?
What's up?
They don't have binoculars. like
No,
telescopes.
they're probably just using hockey, I would imagine. But it's funny to think about that. Like, how do they see what's going on? But I was about to say,
Yeah.
like, oh, unless they're using Ange's eyes as a way in, like the six paths of
Oh,
pain.
yeah, the greatest ally. We see Ange have double ringed eyes. That she's possessed,
It's the
and it's the,
glasses.
oh.
It's like the Google glasses. It has the little camera on there.
Wait, do you wear glasses?
Me? No, I feel like I should. A long time ago, like I was prescribed glasses, but I never wore them.
You seem like the type.
Yeah, I just didn't want to wear glasses, man. But I was gonna say like the last thing I gotta ask now is just how do you think they're supposed to take the kids off the island? Because they say, oh, like just bring them back to the ship. They're in the sun world. Are they gonna go all the way down to the underworld and to the coast, or do you think there's like a flying ship here?
Bro,
And if
at
so,
this
like,
point,
and then
Gunko,
Shamrock, like, did Shamrock go back home, or is he getting the ship? I think
bro,
it makes sense
Gunko
if
could
Shamrock
just
gets the
fly.
ship.
They could just fly. What's the restriction? Why can't Gunko just make a 747, bro? Like
She
at
could.
this point-
Maybe
Yeah,
that's the ship. I mean, we don't know what ship. So like maybe
Yeah.
we do see Gunko having like this crazy arrow ship just waiting for them, and then it just flies them off the island.
Yeah, because we don't know like that power is so expansive already. What's to say she can't just make an arrow that's huge and its direction is just mere draw and it's separate, kind of like how Shamrock just threw the Cerberus left. Like why can't
Yeah.
Gunko just make a arrow that's fate is to go to Meridra and then the giants just the kids just walk on and just
I
sit
mean, that could
and
be
just-
it.
Yeah.
As long as it's fun, right?
I think they specifically said like, oh, like we can't take the abyss, we're gonna need a ship. But who knows what that ship means, right? Like do they
Yeah.
mean like Gunko specifically? Do they mean they're gonna steal a ship? Because like yeah, I said the same thing too. They were like walking towards the I was like,
I think they
they're
have their
up-
own ship, to be honest. Like I said, I've always been a pretty adamant that Gunko and Shamrock arrived via ship and then just teleported over.
yeah, and then Shamrock's we don't know where he is right now. He could be
Yeah.
getting the ship ready.
Yeah, I think Shamrock, if Shamrock is still here, if he didn't go back home yet, I think he's getting the ship ready.
Maybe like a true captain of the ship. He's delegating the tasks and he's just chilling on the ship. Like why lift a finger? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
maybe
he
he's, like,
trusts his boys.
he's the boss man. Why does he have to get his hands dirty? You know what I mean?
It's kind of like Sanji and Zoro. They're like, we'll handle these bozos when they attack King and Queen. Could be like that.
Yeah, so it doesn't burden Luffy.
Yeah. So I guess that's it, huh? Yeah.
That's it.
We covered this
That's it.
expansive chapter.
Sorry, what are you most? Oh no, we already said that. What are you most scared of? And
I'm just scared of
yeah,
ghosts.
Yeah. Like what kind? Like intangible ghosts or like demon ghosts, like physical ghosts?
Intangible ghosts, like demon ghosts or whatever. Like I said, my main thing is like I've got to be able to hit it. Like if I can't touch it, if I can't do anything to fight it, I'm not a big fan of it. But like if a ghost is like physical, like I don't know, like the ring, and I could like punch it, yeah, no, that's fine.
What would be the weakness for the ghost in your nightmare?
It's like a priest or something, or like holy water.
So
Things
like
that like
if
aren't
your
easily
ghost,
accessible.
it would be like it couldn't be defeated, but the only way to save you is to get like Kuma to come in and say a prayer.
Oh, I don't even want Kuma, bro. No, maybe
Kuma's
that's worse.
here.
Yeah,
Kuma's here.
Kuma's here. Bonnie's here.
got the
Vegapunk's here.
book.
They're also missing, or not missing. It's just we don't know like exactly where they are.
How fitting though. Your worst nightmare would be solved by Kuma of all the Buccaneer priest who preaches the word of God and protects, and even his hand of liberation.
I don't like Kuma,
Perfect
man.
for pushing away the goat. Wow, that's such a great way to end this video. That like, no matter how much you hate Kuma, he would come to bat for you in your worst day. Nightmare.
Maybe we just succumb to the nightmare. Maybe that's a takeaway.
Sai would just jump into the goat. Like, no.
Yeah,
Kuma,
maybe that's it.
stay dead. What if the ghost was Kuma, the ghost of Kuma, who's floating around his dead body? That would be extra terrifying, right?
I think so. My worst nightmare is
Or would
Kuma
you
coming back
feel-
to life.
would you feel more empowered if the ghost looked like Kuma?
I don't know. Like, it's got to look ghostly. I don't.
What does that mean?
Like it. Like imagine.
Like the mural? Like the mural?
No.
Like
I'm trying to think. Like the ghost can't. Like for example, the ghost can't be like just a regular dude, right?
like a bed sheet?
But bedsheet ghosts aren't scary either. Like.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, it can't be that, and it just can't be just like a physical.
Yeah, it can't be like a regular person.
It has to be like muck.
No, not even Muck. Like Muck's not scary.
Okay. Some people think he's scary, right? Gengar? Like Gengar.
No.
No. Wait, so what are you afraid of? Wait, what is it?
Like
the ghost has to be the
like
most. You know what the ghosts are like, this guy, he's weak to us, and then they show up and you're like, man, you're ugly, bro. Like you're just like that, you're not ghostly enough. And they would be so depressed. Your greatest fear, you still
growing up, like I was really scared of like jeans that came to life.
Alright. Well, you heard it here, guys. Thank you.
I know people are gonna say, "Oh, that's Jimmy Neutron side," but like, no. There was a time in my life.
Oh my
where,
god, that's Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, it is Jimmy
that's
Neutron.
So
but
funny.
there was like one point where I was at like a family party and I was in a room, and I walked in and I saw like a pair of jeans floating, and I was like, "Whoa, what the hell?" Then I blinked and then they were just on the bed, and that was really scary. Because I think there was like like I was talking to the jeans.
Okay, Sai.
It was horrifying, man.
Sai is Kuina in her best timeline. Fell down the stairs, hit his head.
And Par is 10-10.
And like what?
That's
what
it.
Par?
That's
what
your
about?
curse. That's your curse.
Okay, which one? Okay, real. Okay, let's be real though. Okay, which one is better, Kuina or 10-10?
Kuina.
Really?
Because at one point, Kuina was at least the strongest person on the island.
So I guess the question would be like, is Kuina better than successful Tashigi?
What is successful Tashigi?
Okay, like Tashigi wants to get the most powerful weapons in existence, and Tenden did do that.
I wouldn't say so. I'd rather be Tashigi.
You'd rather be Tashigi?
Tashigi over 10-10.
Do you think that Tashigi wins any of the fights that 10-10 was in?
Well, okay, that's not fair because that's two very different series. The power scaling is so different. Like that's like saying, "Oh, do you think Luffy could beat Frieza?" It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Sai, I gave you the softest ball of all time. The literal softest ball. Tashigi easily clears. Kishimoto said if a gun was in the series, they would lose.
But Tashigi doesn't use guns, bro.
Yeah, but Tashigi's fast. She survived. She survived a snow monster, bro.
Yeah,
does 10-10 beat Snow? Does 10-10 beat Monet?
No.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean,
okay, the one
can
opponent,
right now.
10-10 the one 10-10 opponent I can think of right now is Tamari.
I can't even think of the.
I don't think Tashigi beats Tamari.
Oh yeah, but Tamari's awesome. What do you mean? Like,
yeah, no, duh. That's why I'm saying she doesn't win.
Yeah, but does Tashigi beat Tamari? Like,
no, she doesn't.
Any scope? Okay, so then why didn't Tamari compare?
I'm agreeing with you. I said you can't power scale because they're so different, and then your response was, well, yeah, but like if you bring a gun to Naruto, like they just win. So you think Tashigi can't win? It's like, yeah, no, I don't think Tashigi could beat Tamari.
Oh, I wasn't saying Tamari. I was saying Tashigi.
You were saying 10-10 opponents. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about Tamari, to be honest. Did that one count? That one does count.
That was 10-10's one and only fight, start to finish fight.
Who did she fight with the magical weapons?
I think she tried to fight like Mater or something, and she got cooked.
It's like so funny.
They're not even her weapons. She didn't even beat the people for their weapons. You know that, right?
She
literally picked it up. It was like a spoil of war that she just found.
Yeah, and she has them now. So does Tashiki? What is Tashiki doing? You know what I mean? Like she's doing the same thing. That's why there's the comparison.
At least Tashigi is like willing to fight people. I don't know, bro. Like
Intense willing to fight people. What do you mean?
Par over here, Chinese comic enjoyer. Just you know how it is. Well, with that being said, we're gonna end it right there.
I like how I painted myself in the bad light anyways, and then you bring up the Chinese mom for no reason, and it's like
that's been
I don't even know how that's
gag for a while. Like I don't know why you just keep on bringing up Chinese comics.
That's your gag.
No, you keep on bringing it up, dude.
No, most of the things I've been referencing are
there's nothing wrong with
webtoons.
them. There's nothing wrong with them, dude. I like myself a good old Chinese webtoon comic, Korean manga. Like I like all of those, bro. I don't discriminate.
But
you always just keep like the minute you saw Killingham, you're like, oh my god, like I see this 50 times a day. I was like, whoa.
And the only one that you know of because all the other ones I reference are Korean stories. The only one is the one you got sponsored by, because that's the Tales of Demons and God. Like this straight up, like I don't even know why I got associated with the Chinese. You got sponsored by the Chinese mama. What did I do? They like you.
It's just like that, Par. It happens.
Sai went on a teleprompter and it's like, yeah, this series is about this guy telling me I'm the fake ass reader, whatever.
No, you're the real reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, you read everything.
Sai's sponsored by big Chinese.
Like the thing with Par,
mama.
the thing I love about Par is that he doesn't discriminate at all. Like he is willing to read any comic from anywhere in the world, and I respect that.
Oh, so I'm like Scopper and you're like Sommers.
Yeah, no,
Reading
exactly.
hurts.
Like soon you're gonna be like, yeah.
To read is to inevitably hurt myself.
Soon you're gonna come up with like I don't know. Right today it's Chinese, but like who knows what comic series you're gonna tackle next?
Yeah,
like what
DC,
parts of the world
Marvel.
is it gonna come from?
Yeah, let's do the Superman comics next.
Yeah, you're gonna be the Stan Lee enjoyer. Just gonna love Marvel everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna read only Flashpoint, Reverse Flash comics.
Yeah, Marvel and DC, it's all under your thumb. But with that being said, we're out this week, guys. Break week next week, so expect a 50-50 in its place, hopefully. And yeah, we'll catch y'all later. Hopefully you guys have a great day.